It's our final week 15 NFL picks against the spread video. Excited to get to the show, especially given that our co-host has a tremendous record in his own entry. So we'll get to hear who he likes this week. Before we intro everything, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit the link in the description for the merch store. As always, I'm wearing something for the merch store. It is our 100% USDA man. Shout out Matt Millen. And shout out to my daughter who loves this shirt. She's like, hot dogs, num, 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 num. Anyway, you can get that shirt as well as everything else at the merch store, 20% off. You can change everything here. The colors, you can get long sleeve hoodie, women's tank top, infant onesie, anything you want. We have mugs, we have our apron, we have our baseball cap. We're going to have more coming in the coming months once the season's over. You can go to Amazon, buy my books. The most recent one is Jerks of the College Years, where I made fun of people. That's basically what it was. So I had a lot of fun writing it. I think you guys will have a lot of fun reading it. And then Safety and a Field Goal is my first book where I had a top 5 list of football topics, mostly serious stuff, but some fun stuff too, some crazy stories that you guys may not have heard. Also, please consider super chats, super stickers. That's the best way to support the show. We had some great super chats last week. Kevin Kovac, Anthony Jackson helping us out a lot there. Kevin Kovac over the last 3 weeks has been awesome. So thank you, Kevin. Everyone else, and Slew John Sanders the week before. You guys are tremendous. And like I said yesterday, it's about a week. It's about 2.5 weeks. And then all our good CPMs in December. Actually, they're not even that good for YouTube, but they're all going to go bye-bye, which means we're going to get like $0 like actually in January, because January is the worst month. So for revenue. So if you guys would want to help us out, that would be really appreciated, and you would keep the show going. All right, we're joined by Tom at Quacky T. Tom, how are you, and how was your week 14?
Walter, here we are again. Hello to you and hello to everyone out there in the Walter football family. Well, on my individual card, it went well. I went 4-1. I know on our card we didn't do so hot, unfortunately, but I don't know. It's been. I feel like we've handicapped so much better than our circuit card reflects too.
I know.
I don't know. It's we've gotten burned quite a few times, but on my individual card on my bookie, I'm 43, 26 and 1. I'm 4.5 points out of first place.
That's
and
awesome.
and like I was telling you in the green room, I could go 0-5 on Sunday, and I'll be singing a completely different tune, and that's what makes these contests so hard to win. And I am of relatively little experience with them. This is my 4th year doing them. So, yeah. But that's what makes them so hard to win. But I'm 4.5 points out of first. It's definitely doable, but I think I got to go 4-1 or better each week. So pretty tall order, but anything can happen. I'm excited.
Yeah, it reminds me of heading into week 18 of I think it was week 17 of the 2020 season. They only had 17 weeks back then. I was 10th in the super contest, and I was like really worried that I go 0-5. I'm like, if I go 0-5, I might be out of the money, because it was top 100 paid there. So like that's how close it is. So what I did was I selected my 5, and then I parlayed all my picks against myself, just in case I'd go 0-5. I'd just have a good payout,
Yeah.
So I actually ended up going 3-1-1 in week 17.
Okay.
So that moved me up to 7th. So it was a good payout, nice. But it is super stressful for sure. I can definitely understand that.
Yeah, and it's so the contest for it's so different than like picking the games individually, because you have to I don't know. It seems so much easier on paper than it actually is to. There's just more to consider.
Yeah.
But hey, I was thinking about. I know I've told you this before. Like, one of my least favorite calls of all time, and I love Al Michaels, was remember when Antoine Randall L threw the touchdown pass to Hines Ward in Super Bowl 40.
Yeah.
And I hate that call, and I love Al Michaels, but he goes, there's like a gadget play there, Randall. He can throw. He was a quarterback in college, and he's got a touchdown pass. I don't know why. I can't stand that call. That was such a weird game too.
It was a weird game, yeah.
But also that was 20 years ago, man.
Yeah,
that was 20 years ago already.
Wait,
that was 05-06.
Yeah, you're right.
It was 05-06.
Yeah, just coming up on 20 years. That's crazy. It's my final year at Penn State. So that you know, kind of sticks out. And
Yeah.
of course, not famously, but on the show, I've said that when I worked for the Center Daily Times, this is the newspaper in Central Pennsylvania, I had my own column. It was called Walt's World of Sports, and I one week I wrote that the Steelers had no chance to beat the Colts in the second round of the playoffs, and of course the Colts ended up beating the Steelers, and I got so much hate mail that day. It was like my first taste of hate mail ever.
That's right. Yeah.
It's like every half hour would be like a new piece of hate mail. They're like, never write again. Like, you know, do something else. You're horrible. You're worthless. You know, like people were so angry. I wish I still had that email address. So I would have saved those emails. But they delete your Penn State email after a while. So I don't have those emails anymore.
Yeah. No, but I remember that game well. I remember that game well because the girl that I was dating at the time, we were in my dorm room in Runkle Hall I lived in at Penn State that year. And I remember after the Colts turned it over on downs from it was like the 3-yard line, the 2-yard line, their own 2-yard line.
Yeah.
And all the Steelers would have had to have done was kneel it. And I remember I asked my girlfriend at the time, I said, would you just run it in real quick since you're 2 yards out? Or would you kneel it? And she goes, I'd run it in. And I said, I'd just kneel it.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, oh my God. I mean, I can't think of who was the guy that made the tackle? I mean, he put his helmet right on the ball, man.
Yeah.
And that thing came flying out. I remember and just like seeing Ben Roethlisberger, the way he like watching that live, like the way he like fell, but he still was able to like reach over and get the shoestring tackle. That was And then for Vanderjagt to miss the field goal too. I mean, it was what a game. Jeez, the Colts had so many chances back then, man. They had so many.
I know. Yeah, liquored up kicker. As Peyton Manning called Mike Vanderjagt, is that was a crazy game. You're right, and that led to the hate mail. But you know what? It ended up being a good thing because you know now I laugh at the hate mail. It's funny. I posted on the site my responses to it, so I enjoy getting it. In fact, like if I don't get hate mail, I'm like, oh, damn it, why didn't I get hate mail this week?
I used to feel that when I used to stream video games, I kind of like getting trolled a little bit. And everyone who ever trolled me, ended up following me. So like I don't know, it's like in a way, it's good fun too. But anyhow, the 21 to 10. I'm talking about the 21 to 10 Super Bowl when Pittsburgh beat the Seahawks 21 to 10. Do you think that we've only talked about this briefly before? Like, do you think that game was rigged? You know, a lot of people because it was like the Jerome Bettis Bowl in Detroit. That's where he's from. You know.
I mean, there were a lot of bad calls in that game. It doesn't mean it was rigged. It just means that they screwed up the game like terribly, the officials. Yeah. But it could have been rigged. I mean, look, if the NBA's can be rigged with Tim Donaghy, then the NFL can be rigged too. So I don't know. I mean, we have no evidence of it, but like,
I guess I shouldn't say rigged. I guess the better question to you would have been, to what degree do you believe it was influenced, if at all? So. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I don't think I'm making this up, but I swear there was one of the referees like apologized or something like years later and was like, I know, like they admitted that the calls were bad or something. Maybe I'm thinking of a different play though.
I don't recall that. But again, like he apologized for bad calls, not crooked calls. You know, it's a one thing to screw up calls, another thing to mess them up intentionally, so one team could win. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I think we can all admit, except for Steelers fans, maybe some will do that too, that like the game was not properly officiated, like for one reason or another.
Yeah.
You know.
Right,
so
right.
It is kind of crazy that it's 20 years from now. It's or 20 years from now. It's insane.
Yeah, geez, time goes fast.
And
I still really knew I'd known you for a year, or a little over a year by that point. Geez, we've been knowing each other for a long time. For the viewers at home.
Yeah, it was. It's the year after we met. I was out in the West Halls. I think you stayed in North Halls that second year, right?
That's right. Yeah.
They they closed our dorm. Otherwise, I would have stayed in my dorm.
That's right. Yeah.
I had a single. Which was like the dream because like I didn't live with anyone. I just like hung out in the dorms and like, yeah, you could go off campus. And people always ask me like, why don't you go off campus? I'm like, well, I don't want to like drive in or take the bus every day. It seems like annoying. I can stay in my own room in the dorms. Everything's within walking distance, including like downtown, the parties, and the bars, and I can just like walk home. I don't have to like rely on any cars or anything. This is before Uber even. So like, I never understood why people lived off campus. because like when you get older, like the longer you stay there, the better chance you have of winning the lottery for the single dorm. Because I was my senior year where I won the lottery for my own dorm. I'm like, sweet, that's awesome.
Yeah, I wish I could have had that same situation. That would be great.
Yeah.
Dorm life is kind of weird, when you think about it, but like I don't know, I had never had any like any bad dorm roommates. I guess I only lived in the dorms for 2 years. The dormitories.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, I only had two roommates. One is my current web developer for the website, Dennis, and the other one was a farmer, Jared, who I wrote about in the book. I had no contact with him because he didn't have any contact information. Because like when we lived together, he would just go to bed at 7 o'clock in the evening because like he was a farmer and that's what he did. So the lights the sun went down, he just went to bed. And,
Oh wow.
yeah, he had
Oh,
he had no computer, he had no phone, he had nothing.
this guy sounds like he was Amish or something.
He might actually, I don't know. I mean, he never like dressed like one, but I never but that's what he did. Like, and I think eventually he got like a laptop or something because he needed it. But like, so that's why I assume he wasn't Amish, but he just had like no information at all. Like it was like if I tried to, I couldn't. I don't know how I could contact him right now if I wanted to. Like I doubt he has Facebook. Doubt he has any social media. Like, and he was a nice guy. I'm not like talking trash or anything. Like we got along. We didn't fight at all. But
just like never interacted. Really.
No, and he did like football. When football was on, he'd watch. But that was it. That was to the extent of like the technology. He watched my TV for football, and that was it. That was it.
Wow, he was watching television. That sounds like it's outside. It's against protocol.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's
Okay.
Yeah.
I went to school with some people, this family, like there were 4 kids that all went to the school, and I think their parents only let them watch like 1 hour of TV a week.
Oh wow, that's so little.
Yeah. It's probably a good thing at the end of the day, really, but I don't know. But it's just like it was like I don't know.
I get it as a parent now, because I have 2 kids, and like if they're just watching TV, it's just like they're just zoned in. They're not like they're looking at a box like zombies, and I like feel bad. I'm like, but if I'm working, I can't really do anything about it. But like if I'm just like, I'm like, all right, guys, come on, we got to do something here. We either like play or go outside or I don't know, but it does feel like you should not do that for a long period of time.
Yeah.
1 hour per week seems too little. If it's like 1 hour per day,
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's probably a good thing, but I don't know. If you could only watch it for 1 hour a week, what do you think you would watch back in like the late 90s and 2000s? I guess like 1 hour of a football game, maybe, huh?
Well, that was before I worked the website, so I don't know. It depends. I always watch Boy Meets World. I always would wait for Boy Meets World on Friday nights, and then Step by Step. So like that might have been it. Or of course, Legends of the Hidden Temple, where I still love that show.
Yeah, man.
Take the kids to the $50 place at the mall. Yeah, get a mortgage, get another mortgage to
Well, but anyhow, how did we get on this?
Because you were talking about the bad call for Antoine Randall.
Right. Yeah. That's I just can't believe how time has flown. It's been 18 seasons since the undefeated Patriots season when they lost, undefeated into the last game, the Super Bowl against the Giants. That 18 years already. Oh my God, man! Time is just.
There are people about to go to college who weren't alive for that.
Oh my God, that was Favre's last year. That was Brett Favre's last year in Green Bay too.
Yeah, it was. That is very crazy. We have some comments. Walt, if the Panthers make the playoffs, would Canales be the coach of the year? And I like Andy's response. Vrabel or Johnson gets coach of the year if Panthers make the playoffs, it's due to lousy division. So yeah, we agree there. If the Panthers had like a 12-5 record, I'd say yes, but just because they beat a Tampa team that's collapsing. I don't think so. There's a guy in the Circuit Millions who was in the lead for the quarterly and also had the lead for last place, which you get a booby prize for last place. He went 0-5 in the lead and 5-0 in last place. Oh man, it's so brutal.
That would be soul crushing, man. I don't even want to think about that. That'd be horrible.
That'd be terrible, yeah. Hey, Walt, Quacky, quick off topic. Would you be interested if I send a link for my new Substack? It is Libertarian Overwatch and covering news and long-form investigations starting this Wednesday. I don't know if Tom would be interested because he's not like real into politics, but I mean, maybe I'm wrong. But I would definitely be interested if you just email me. WPC. Oh, you know my email, Patrick. What am I saying? You can email me. I was like, Patrick and I communicate over email. I'm like Patrick, here's my email address. No, definitely send me. I'm like the most libertarian person, so I'm definitely interested in that. So yeah, please send me that. And Tom, I don't know if you're interested, but like I said, you're not.
Oh no, respectfully, no. That's just not my bag. I don't get into that stuff. So
okay,
but thank you for the invite.
Yeah, I'm a Steelers fan, and that officiating was horrible. Yeah. Let's see what else here. Everything within jogging class distance.
Yeah, that's right.
Of course. I mean, that's the beauty of it. That's why I could go back to sleep in that jogging class, because I could walk across the street, sign out, and then walk back to my dorm and fall asleep. If I lived off campus, I couldn't do that. So that's, again, I didn't get this whole mindset of living off campus. Like, if you want to live in an apartment, there are apartments downtown, which is like right near. That's within walking distance.
Yeah.
Class too, but like there are people who live like actually like 6-7 blocks off campus, even farther than that. And like, what are you doing? Like, why? It never made any sense to me. It seems like so inconvenient.
Yeah, I lived 1 year because I just thought that was like the thing to do.
Exactly. That's the people do it because it's the thing to do, but it's the dumbest thing.
Yeah, I know. But I guess in the moment though, like at the time I was thinking like, okay, like I'm gonna learn to be like on my own, like I guess sort of thing. And that's in that like I don't know, like I guess that's just what I thought was like the next thing like to do.
Yeah,
I never really questioned it, but
I questioned it. It's funny. It's like
question everything, Walter. Question all.
Look, I think a lot of people have this mindset. It's the thing to do. I'm going to be on my own. I think that's what it is. But it's funny because when you're in college, you're told what to do every step of the way. Like it's like you're told to live on campus in the dorms, and then you're told to live off campus. You're told to go to class. You're told to do this sort of work. You're told to do your homework. You're told to take the test here. Like you're programmed to do everything. You have there's no mental freedom in that. Like you're just locked into everything you do. And yeah, sure, you can change you choose your major. Like, yeah, there are certain like variations of stuff you can do, but every step of the way, you're told by a professor everything to do. And it's just, I think that's a bad way of being prepared for the real world, because I've heard this from a lot of people in businesses, and I'm my own business, and they're like, people are like, I can't hire college graduates because they're like, they show up, they're like, okay, what do I do? And it's like, what do you mean, what do I do? Like, you should know what to do, like, or take some initiative. But like, people in college don't know how to do that. And so I don't know. It seems like horrible.
Yeah, it's funny, because like academia has so like like when we first met, I was when I went to college at Penn State, and this is 2004, fall 2004, and things changed. And then like I ended up not finishing there. I ended up transferring and going to UCF, and graduated in 2018. So I went to college at like two very different times, and it's just like, dude, like I just think, I don't want to sound so negative, but like I'm glad that I did get a degree at the end of the day. Like it gave me peace of mind more than anything, maybe, and like a feeling of completion of sorts. But it's like, man, I just remember being at the graduation ceremony, and I heard some of the names the other people I knew from business school. I was like, that person graduated. Like, are you like, I don't know. It's like, it's just so easy. Like, it's just so easy to like get away with like cheating there, like I knew a lot of people, like it's just so like you have like online quizzes and stuff. And I mean, like there would be like a testing center where like you would take the exams,
Mhm.
But like a lot of like anything, if we had like group presentations, there are so many people that like rode on the coattails of like the rest of the group. And people like the online quizzes, you can just like get the answers from like your friends, to the point where like what like and I and how I know is happening was because I took this class one time, quantitative business tools 2 it was called. It was like a combination of calculus and statistics, and I can't even really tell you what was happening, but I passed. So to be honest, but I figured it out one way or another. But after like a couple weeks, like the quizzes throughout the semester were supposed to be 20% of the grade,
Yeah.
and the final was going to be 30% of the grade. The exams were 50% of the grade. So after like the first quiz, the professor made an announcement in class. He's like, I see what you all are doing. He's saying, he was like, now the quizzes are going to be worth 10%. The final is going to be worth 40%.
Mm-hmm.
And the exams will be worth 50. And his reasoning was because he's like, I know like so many of you cheated, because like the online quizzes, they're on a timer. So
Yeah.
like one person's taking it and then giving the answers to the next person, and they're going like a 10-question quiz. People are like so dumb. They're going click, 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 submit, and get a 10 out of 10. And it knows you were in there for like 15 seconds. How the hell did you get a 10 out of 10 in 15 seconds? So like that's the giveaway.
Right.
So he caught like so many people doing that. And now he's like, because of that, like now the quizzes are going to be like a lower weight, 10% of the grade. And I was just like, look, if you're going to do something like that, like freaking think it through.
Yeah.
Like just let the timer run. Like people are so, and these are the people, I've run into people who are like 10 years younger than me, who like can't identify like a taskbar on a computer.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man. I don't know where I'm going with this. It was I'm getting into some controversial topics. I don't like to do that.
Is that kind of controversial? You should try what I do. Post what I did like today.
But like look, I'm not trying to say like if it was just a very different experience the second time around, and I don't know. I'm not trying to like talk negative on going to school. If that's what you want to do, and that makes you happy, then that's great. And I'm glad I did. But it's things have changed. It's interesting. But anyhow, let's get into it. I got a question for you. Let's get right into it with Colts and Seahawks.
Well, hold on. We finish I want to finish the comments.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. So it's possible not to have a phone these days. Yeah, I mean that was back then. So he probably has a cell phone now, but or maybe not. I don't know. He was so anti-technology. Take the kids to the $50 place at the mall. Yeah, it's so ridiculous how expensive that is. What are the political parties in Russia? Did they have libertarians? As far as I know, I don't think they do. They have
the Whig Party.
The Whigs.
The Whig Party's still over there, I think.
It's still there. There.
Oh, yeah.
No, they have the communists, then they have the pro-Kremlin, and then they have the it's kind of it's a liberal democratic party, but that's actually like conservative, which is weird. But that probably be where I would be, because it's more like more freedom-based stuff, which I guess is sort of libertarian, but I don't know. In Russia, you really don't have all these liberties. It's not like we're here where we have a lot of freedoms. We don't have all the freedoms we should have, but we have a lot more freedoms than most places. So, as long as it's not communist, I'm fine with it. Send the link to Substack. Thank you. Nice. Planned articles are the 97 Montenegro coup and doing year-by-year series on them, influence on politics on stock prices. Okay, awesome. I look forward to seeing that. That's awesome. Thanks, Patrick. Quacky, question for you. Have you ever played Hollow Knight, a super challenging Metroid-esque game, but amazing soundtrack and super fun? That kind of reminds me of Ori, the Metroid-esque game with a great soundtrack.
Hollow Knight. I know I've heard of it, but I haven't played it, Patrick. I'm guessing you've played it, and I mean, you said Metroid-esque. Metroid is one of my favorite games ever. Super Metroid, I could in my prime, I could probably beat Super Metroid in under 3 hours.
Nice. I couldn't get past the first screen.
Really?
Yeah, there's something like you have to duck to get something, and I couldn't figure out the controls. I just couldn't get it. I don't know if my controller is broken, but it just wouldn't let me duck. And this is on the SNES game thing that console that got released. You know, with the 30 games. My wife got me that for like Christmas one year or New Year or my birthday one year. It's probably, I think it was my birthday. And like, I was like, I never played Super Metroid before. Let me try. And like, I couldn't get past the first screen just because like I couldn't get one item. And I tried everything on the control. I'm like, what do I do here?
Probably the morphine ball.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, were you rolling around in the ball? If you weren't, then you didn't get there. Yeah.
Okay, then I didn't.
Yeah, you can't do anything without that. Yeah, that's probably what it was.
It'd be nice to know what the controls are for the.
I can help you out with that. I can help you out.
All right. Well, if I in the spring when I get to play video games and I'm not playing Final Fantasy, maybe I'll get to it. But I'm not. I mean, Ori is like that. Ori's a lot like Metroid. It really is, and it has a great soundtrack, and it's a tearjerker too. It's like within 5 minutes of the game, you're gonna be crying. I guarantee it. It's so.
Yeah, I play a little bit of it. It's good. It's good.
It's so sad. No, Quacky, they need to cheat. Why would you assume that they're smart?
No, look, and I met a lot of smart people there. And look, I wasn't trying to be a negative Nancy. I'm just saying things have changed. I don't want anyone to think I'm like a curmudgeon of any kind, you know.
It's insanely difficult to fight one boss for like 2 hours, but great leveling, progression, amazing style, great combat. Sequel coming out this year, and both already considered all timers.
Oh, wow.
Okay. What console is it on, Patrick? Or Tommy? Do you know? Is it on like?
I'm not sure.
I only have PS5 and Switch. I don't have Xbox, so if it's on one of those, then I'll be able to play it. Also, I've been told to play Expedition 33 by a lot of people too, so I think that's next on my list after I finish Final Fantasy 7, which I've been working on for quite a long time. I started this in like June, and I've been playing it. In fairness, and like I don't really play during the football season. If I played, I probably like not counting video games with my son, which we play Resident Evil. I think I played about like 2 hours of video games throughout the whole football season. So, okay, Xbox, Switch, and PlayStation. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll check that out. And Expedition 33. Those would be my 2 games this summer, unless there's new Zelda or something. Okay, so let's get into the games as you hinted earlier. And because you are doing so well on your super content on your what is the website?
MyBookie.ag.
MyBookie, your MyBookie card, 43, 26, and 1. It's pretty incredible.
No, thank you.
Yeah, well, hope you're 48, 26, and 1 after this week. So why don't you lead us off and talk about a game that you want to talk about?
Well, let's get in the Colts versus Seahawks first. I got a question for you. Hey, who would you rather have starting for you at quarterback? Phillip Rivers or Fat Jim Miller?
Oh man, at least Fat Jim Miller can take some hits. I don't know, like Phillip Rivers. Actually, I heard Phillip Rivers looking a little husky too. As you know, and I don't think Fat Jim Miller is a grandfather, as far as I know. He could be. He's a little bit older than Phillip Rivers, but Phillip Rivers is a grandfather, and I think I heard his his youngest son is older than Harold Fannin. So just kind of crazy if you think about it. But and I mean, honestly, I would rather not start any of them, but if I had to choose, it'd be Rivers. But if Fat Jim Miller is the guy in the Disney movie, he gets pixie dust sprayed on him, and he's like the rookie, the Cubs kid movie. He's like suddenly like throwing 80-yard touchdowns like left and right. Like maybe that'll be the answer.
He's like the quarterback version of the garbage picking, field goal kicking Philadelphia phenomenon.
Exactly.
Yeah. He comes out, he just lights it up. Yeah. I watched that, by the way, the other week. It's on. I know, and I don't know why. No, you got to check it out, man. It's so good. It's so good.
Oh, by the way, I've been watching Man on the Inside. Patrick, you asked about TV shows. Man on the Inside on Netflix. It's like a half hour. It's with Ted Danson and the badass girl cop from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's really good show, actually. It's about like a guy who infiltrates like a nursing home because there's like theft there. like grand larceny. And so he's trying to figure out who's doing it, and he's like kind of aloof. This is like typical Ted Danson. He's like kind of aloof, and like he's supposed to be like undercover, but he like makes friends with everyone, and he just doesn't want to like accuse anyone of it. It's actually a really good show. But anyway,
what's it
I
called?
digress.
Man on the Inside.
Man on the Inside. It's on Netflix. It's pretty good. I'm almost through season 1. There's 2 seasons. It's pretty, I like it. It's a good show.
So so this Colts and Seahawks matchups. Okay, if Phil Rivers is starting this game, this is going to be like the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight. Like, wouldn't it be really cool if the old guy came back and did awesome?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like they're just old and like out of shape. Like that would be really cool, wouldn't it?
That's what everyone thinks. Yeah, that's what everyone thinks.
I don't know. I can't really imagine this going. Like, let me put it this way. Okay, like look at like Shedeur Sanders when he came in his first game against the Ravens. Okay.
Yeah.
And like that wasn't good. And I'll admit he looked real good at times this past week against the Titans. So I'll give him some credit. But like think about how badly that first start Shedeur had. Like do you think or like think like Max Brosmer.
Right.
And like you think Phillip Rivers is like if he's going to start that he's going to do better than that? I don't know, man. I think we could see like a Nathan Peterman situation.
Yeah, 5 picks.
Yeah, like it's. I don't know. The only thing, okay, this is a little bit of a tough spot for Seattle. I also have a concern with them with close games, similar to how I kind of talked about the Packers earlier in the season, where the Seahawks have won some games by margin, but they've also had some kind of close games. 20-12 versus the Jags, 27-19 against the Texans. That was before the Texans defense was playing at the level it has been. At least on some level, I think. Like the Vikings game, their offense, wasn't that impressive. I mean, it didn't need to be. They even had a slow start in Atlanta. So, like, I also know that they're as solid as they have been. They're not winning by margin, at least as much as I would think a team this strong would.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I mean, what kind of situation would like? Let's really like wrap our mind around that. Like if Phillip Rivers starts, like is there a chance like he comes out and like I don't want to even say lights it up. Like do you think he could have a game? You think he could have a game like Flacco had against the Packers? Do you think he could play that well?
No, because Flacco's been playing, and he's a lot younger. What's Flacco like 40, 41? Like for a year when you're in your 40s is a lot, and now 4 years. And you haven't played football in 5, and it's not like Phillip Rivers wasn't even that good in his final year. now he's playing. He's going to be coming back from a 5-year hiatus. He claims he knows the offense because he's running it in his high school program. Like, okay, sure. And then Evan pointed out this last night where it's like a lot has changed in the NFL. A lot of like new schemes defensively. Like Phillip Rivers hasn't seen any of that. So he's going to be caught off guard by a lot of stuff too. So I imagine he's going to think he gets to rip it, and it's going to end up costing him. I think there could easily be like 2 pick sixes in this game.
Yeah, I can't imagine like what's going to happen. And Seattle's really solid against the run. Yeah.
Seattle's number 1 against the run.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean. I don't know. I just have a hard time. Here seeing like I think this could be like a Seahawks Vikings type of score, like a 26-0 or like a 31-3 or something.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine he's going to have a game. Like I'm trying to think of a good comparison. I just wonder.
Max Brosmer. We just saw it.
Yeah.
5 picks, right? Or 4 picks.
Yeah. Well, like what do you think the best case scenario could be if Phillip Rivers starts? And look, here's the other thing, and let me preface with this: I'm not hating on Phil Rivers, and by the way, I think he's one of the gutsiest quarterbacks. I'll never forget that 07-08 year. Remember when he came back in the AFC Championship game and played on one leg? Man, that guy wanted to win. I respect him. Like he's gutsy, and he's showing it here. Even as terrible as it may potentially be,
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he's got stones at least. You know, he's got grit, man. You know.
I thought you were really hating on Phil Rivers, and you thought that he was the worst quarterback ever. I like that you had to preface that as if, like, I don't know, I didn't think you were hating on
Well,
him.
no. What if the viewers at home are like, "Oh, Quacky's such a hater," and they're like, "Walter, get him off the show. He's a hater."
Okay, well, if someone says that, I automatically banish you from all shows going forward because I care about what someone says.
Yeah, and like that, you know, like I said, it would be really cool if Philip Rivers just like freaking went off. We'd be like, "What the hell is this?" I'm like, "Oh, you're the old quarterback with Rodgers and Flacco," you know,
Yeah.
just to add more to it. So, but like, I just like I'm talking like a bad like Bryce Young start, like one of his first starts.
Mm.
You know, where it was just like it was just or like, okay, let me ask you this. Do you think he could play as well as like take your pick of any game by Cam Ward? I
No,
don't
I don't think
know.
so. I don't think so. I don't think so.
And Seattle's number one against the run. I believe this line is not high enough. Maybe I could make that argument.
I agree. Yeah, this line should be
So
at least 19 and a half, 20 and a half. I don't see
yeah,
how the Colts stay close. It's 26-0 over Minnesota. Same quarterback situation, we think. And Minnesota's better defense than the Colts. Colts are not going to have Buckner or Sauce Gardner once again. So like their top two defenders are out. By the way, the right tackle's out. Andy said Colts line will have his work cut out for it. Yeah, there's no right tackle. Braden Smith is a really good player. He's not playing. And then, are there any Seahawks injuries? No, there are zero Seahawks injuries. They're one of the cleanest injury teams right now in the NFL. So, yeah, I'm with you on this one. I love Seattle here. I don't see like why is this only 13 and a half? It doesn't make sense to me. It's not like the public's like overwhelmingly on Seattle anyway. What is the public money on this? The public money is it's 50-50. It's like 53% Seattle. So
that's good. That's good for me. That's good by me. I mean, I just like even when the Seattle offense was terrible. Was well, I shouldn't say terrible. They really weren't very strong at all in that game against Minnesota and Brosmer, and it was still 26-0, which is like almost double the spread here. So I mean, I think it could go that way.
Yeah, and it was a tough offensive game for them because Minnesota's great defense. They just held Washington to 0, and they knew Darnold. Like they knew his weaknesses. Like Brian Flores knew how to go against Darnold. So they had a big defensive edge, and it didn't matter at all. They still won 26-0. It's what you get when you have the worst quarterback in the NFL against the best defense in the NFL. Then like we have another instance of worst quarterback in the NFL this week. Although actually probably there might be another worst one. We'll get to him in the next game because I'm going to bring that one up. But no, I think this is a blowout through and through. I don't see how this is going to be close outside of like Seattle weirdly fumbles in the red zone every time. And there's a kickoff return, like nonsense like that. Like I feel like that's the only avenue toward where the Colts could cover the spread. I don't see how they could win this game. Like again, like even weirder things would happen.
And let me add on to that and saying like I don't think this is going to be like okay, the Titans covered against the Seahawks in the last minute. I don't see that happening here because first off I don't see the Seahawks losing this game, and I just don't. I think this season is going to quite very likely be just a giant letdown for the Colts who started out so well. And I think this is really going to be like the knockout blow if like this doesn't go well. And it's just kind of like, I think it's going to be deflating to the point where like, we're not going to have to worry about a backdoor cover. Like, I think that's very unlikely because I think they're just going to be so defeated. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I brought this up last week when I played against the Colts. I had a big play on the Jaguars. So the Colts haven't played a good game since October. Remember their first our first taste of that was against the Steelers. Remember they went to Pittsburgh and got blown out, and we're like, okay, they took this team lightly, and then they went into London Germany. I think it was Germany, and they played Atlanta to overtime. Like Atlanta, and then we're like, oh, Atlanta played well, but like we're starting to see the Colts play poorly here. They lead against the Chiefs. They blow the lead, and then we eventually know that the Chiefs haven't won since. And then they get blown out, or they lose to the Texans, where they're trailing throughout. It wasn't a blowout, but they were losing throughout. And then last week they were losing when Daniel Jones got hurt. So like this team, like I said, hasn't played a good game since late October, and we're in mid-December now, and like now they don't have any quarterback. I just don't see how they compete with arguably the number 2 NFL team in the league.
Why do you think this line isn't higher? Do you think it's because people are under the impression Rivers is going to start, and they think because of his reputation, like there's a chance it might be close?
I mean, look, this is anecdotal. Well, first of all, actions,
right. Yeah,
actions 50-50. So like they don't need it to be higher. Anecdotally, I was at my parents' house tonight, and I was picking up my daughter who's there, and my dad is who's like, who do you like? And I'm like, Dad, you didn't watch the videos? But I was like, no. I'm like, yeah, I like. I'm gonna not spoil it, but then I said, yeah, I also like the Seahawks, and he's like, against the Colts. I'm like, yeah. I was like, what's the spread? I'm like 13.5. He's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, it's not high enough. He's like, but the Colts have a good record. And I think that might be the public sentiment, like that the Colts have won games and they can overcome this. They still have Jonathan Taylor. They still have I don't know, Tyler Warren.
Yeah.
Pittman's all right, I guess. Like.
Yeah.
They don't have a quarterback. They're missing their 2 best defensive players, and they're missing their star right tackle. So as Andy said, only negative Seattle hosts the Rams on Thursday.
Yeah,
it's true, but this late in the year where they're chasing the 1 seed potentially, and like I don't know, I don't. And against a team that has a winning record, I don't. And even if it's Philip Rivers, they're like, oh God, this is a Hall of Famer. Maybe they take it seriously, because I was listening to like various podcasts, like. Whenever I walk my dog or pick up my kids, like I'm listening to random videos on YouTube, and people are like, "Oh, the Colts should have a good game this week." And like one guy was like, "I wonder what their projected point total is," and the other guy was like, "God, it's got to be like 20.5." And then they looked that up, and it's like only 14.5. That's not right, So like people actually think that Philip Rivers is going to play well, and I that seems crazy to me. It seems absolutely crazy.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm good to put him on the card then.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm right there with you. So
okay. All right. Well, this is first one for us.
First one is up with the Colts minus 13.5. Yeah. Or sorry, it's not Colts. Seahawks minus 13. We're taking the Colts minus 13.5. That'd be a lot of we have to get a great price on that one.
Points, yeah.
All right. We had a couple comments. $5 bet that we hear Phil Rivers scream, "Help me, Tom Cruise." What is the Donkey Kong bookmark? I actually answered this a few times. It's nothing. Because I don't know why this string here is just old links, and I'll prove it to you. So I'll click this, right? And it just says the video isn't available anymore. Like it's that old, and I'll show you how old it is. If you click on this fantasy football league. This is 2017 league champion Walter football. Like, oh, there we go. I won this league in 2017. That's how old this is. I don't know. It keeps showing like almost 10-year-old stuff, bookmarks here. And I don't know why. I don't even know how to control this or anything. It's just there.
Just right click it and remove from bookmarks probably.
No.
Well, you don't have to do it right now when you're on the spot,
Oh no, I have to do it right now because you just said it. No. By the way, I got. I think it might have been. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. I think I did get kicked out of a quote unquote experts league. I don't think it was this one. I think this one just folded. I was in another experts league, quote unquote, and I got kicked out because of my some comments I made. I don't even know what they were. In fact, like they emailed me. They're like, we can't have you on anymore because of the comments you made. And like I'm like, okay, and I didn't say this. I'm like, I didn't want to be in your stupid league anyway, but because it's just more work for me,
Yeah.
But I also thought I'm like, I have no idea what comments you're talking about. I've said way too much, so I don't know anymore. I really don't know.
You're better off just not worrying about it.
Yeah.
What?
All right.
Yeah. What
So,
you got? You got one for us?
yes, I do. And I kind of teased this one, and I locked this in earlier today. The Jaguars minus 13.5. So I said that there's another terrible quarterback this week who might be even worse than Philip Rivers, and that's Brady Cook. Brady Cook is going to start for the Jets. Tyrod Taylor's out. Justin Fields is out. And we kind of caught wind of that when they signed a I forget what his name was. They signed someone off someone's practice squad. So we saw Brady Cook last week, and I know a Brady Cook because we covered the draft. He's quarterback from Missouri. He went undrafted. I never thought he'd be a draftable prospect, so I wasn't surprised. And somehow he's found his way into a starting role for the Jets because he was the third quarterback, and we're going to see him start. And this is. We were like questioning like who is Philip Rivers going to resemble. Like this is going to be Tim Boyle. This is going to be Max Brosmer for sure. Like Brady Cook does not belong in the NFL. This is certainly not a career backup like Marcus Mariota or Jacoby Brissett. Like those guys are like Dan Marino compared to Brady Cook. Like Brady Cook is awful. He has no NFL skills at all. He has to be shocked that he's starting a game. Like he and his family have to like, oh my God, I can't believe he's going to start. He like I said, he has zero talent for this league. And he looked that way against the Dolphins last week. The Dolphins, by the way, who have a bad pass defense, they can't get any pressure on the quarterback, and they have a lot of injuries in secondary. And yet he scored 0 points. It might have been 3. Maybe he scored 3 points off like a turnover or something. But anyway, like they were doing nothing offensively. And the only reason I didn't bet the Dolphins live is because they kept saying, oh, Tyrod Taylor questionable. Like even at halftime, they're like, Tyrod Taylor questionable to return. And I'm like, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to live bet the Dolphins, and the next thing you know, Tyrod Taylor is going to come back. Like, I guarantee it. So I laid off of it, but then like by the middle of the fourth quarter, they finally said Tyrod Taylor doubtful. They're not even out. There's like doubtful, I never got a chance to bet against Brady Cook. But this is my redemption. I finally get a chance to get a bet against Brady Cook against a Jaguar team that's 11th in defense. They've improved against the run. I think they're 4th against the run. Their pass rush is really good. Secondary is an issue, but against Brady Cook, that's not going to matter. By the way, Mason Taylor's out there, top tight end for the Jets as well. And the Jets are missing 2 out of their top 3 corners. So you have the Jaguar team that has improved a lot recently. Trevor Lawrence, I talked about, again, I liked the Jaguars last week, and I talked about why I did. And it was because Trevor Lawrence had gotten Jacoby Myers, who is a really reliable receiver. Brian Thomas came back from injury. Brenton Strange came back from injury. This team is hitting hitting its stride at the right moment. And I said this a few times this week. I'm considering a bet on the Jaguars to win the Super Bowl. I think that the AFC is wide open, and they're hot right now, and on both sides of the ball. And I think that they have as much potential as anyone except for Buffalo. I think Buffalo is the better team, but Jaguars could certainly do it in 19-1 or 21-1, whatever they are. I think they're worth a shot. So I think they absolutely smoked the Jets here. What are your thoughts on this game? Adrian Martinez, by the way, is the quarterback they signed. Thank you, Slo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I very much agree, and I think we can probably put him on there too. Man, I'll tell you what, I know, Daniel Jones got hurt and everything, but Lawrence looked really good. Not only throwing, but running as well.
Yep.
ETN is showing up, and in the games that he didn't, we had Root and Tootin. Tootin found the end zone in a few games.
Mm-hmm.
And then also they have the best kicker, the record-setting kicker. Like this, you're right. Like this team is really hitting a stride. Yeah, like here's the thing about Brady Cook. I mean, he did throw for 163 yards. It's not like he threw for like 50 yards or anything. So I guess it could have been worse. But let me just play devil's advocate, though. I do like the Jags, and we'll probably get them on the card. But like, do you think this could be like any like a Tyler Shuck situation? Remember, he had that horrible debut against the Rams, and they came back and beat the Panthers the next game. Do we see, like, maybe just from the eye test, any pattern of like, okay, like the first game it's really shaky, but then the next time it's a little bit better? You know what I mean? I don't know. Like I just kind of want to come up with some counter arguments before we lock it in, I guess.
Well, Tyler Shuck was the 40th overall pick in the draft. Like, he has NFL talent. Brady Cook has no talent. He was not drafted. So like there's a big disparity and discrepancy in talent between these two quarterbacks. Like he has no arm strength. He doesn't like he has no like quarterback IQ either. He's not like a smart guy or anything, you know. He can move. He can move around a little bit. Like I think he ran at 4.6 40, so he can scramble a little bit. That's like his only positive, I would say.
Geez, you're really going in on the poor guy, Walt. I hope he's not watching right now.
Brady, if you're watching, I'm really sorry. You're a great guy, I'm sure.
That's better.
He is a good athlete. He is a good athlete.
Of course, yeah. No, I know what you. I'm just being a bird, you know.
He had a 37-inch vertical. He can, he's a good athlete, but as a passer, it's not there. Sorry. Sorry, Brady Cook. If you and your family are watching and crying right now, I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. I don't really care.
Well, on behalf of Walter, I am sorry.
You're nice. You're nicer than I am.
Yeah, I like the Jags here. I don't know. Brian Thomas Jr.'s catching passes. I really like Strange too. He's back now, like he said. And now, especially after beating the Colts, I really think, like you said, they're hitting the stride at the right time. I think they're really feeling confident. I think 24 points could cover this. No. And I think they should get there pretty easily. This is another game. It could play out a lot, like you said. The other game, it could be another like 28-0 or something like that. So.
Yeah.
Oh, never. I almost said they're interconference on the road. They're both AFC.
Well,
not like it would even matter.
It feels like interconference on the road.
Yeah, sure does.
I mean, the other one was Colts Seahawks was interconference on the road, and you missed it.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Is it good or bad? We don't know.
Even more reason to like Seattle.
I think Rivers could probably still throw, but the processing is going to be a big problem. You can't just be out of football that long and retain those mental reflexes. Yeah, I don't even know if he could throw. I mean, like he's 44, hasn't played football in 5 years. Like we saw Brady at 44 fall off a cliff, right? I think it was 44, and like Brady is a one of a kind. Like how's Rivers going to play 44? I have my doubts, but you're right about the mental reflexes for sure. We had someone brought this example up last night. Like Deshaun Watson was out of football for 2 years, and he came back and was a mess. So like Rivers has been out for 4 years, and he's in his mid 40s. So that is it's on all levels there. It's terrible.
And just one more thing on that Colts and Seahawks game. One thing we completely failed to mention: it's in Seattle. You think if Phil Rivers, you think the fans aren't going to be loud? That's going to be tough to get used to, man. Like it's going to be tough for them. Oof. I don't know how they do it.
The loudness. I mean, Seattle hasn't had a good home field advantage for a while for some reason, but the sound of the stadium, for a guy who's been around for 5 years, that should make things difficult for sure.
At worst, it's neutral, So
it's exactly. People think the Colts are still good, like getting blown out by the Jags in a key divisional game means nothing. I don't think people have caught on to the Colts yet. Rivers is tough, but he might not get up if he still gets leveled on the sack. Yeah, he kind of fear for his well-being.
I know.
Here.
I certainly hope nothing goes like really sideways there. That would really be sad. I always really liked him. So a lot of people didn't like him, but
Jay Cutler didn't like him.
Yeah.
Jay Cutler's in he's in a reality show right now.
Oh, nice.
It's his wife is the main character. She like organizes parties and stuff. I only know this because for some reason, I was working on my couch. I fell asleep and I woke up and like somehow this was on the TV. It was like a channel my wife was watching. It was like, how like, well, I mean, maybe it works different for you, but like my Netflix is attached to my Comcast. But like if the cable box resets, then the Netflix shuts off and it goes back to the channel it's on. So it was whatever channel my wife was watching. And like I see this like these attractive women talking about like throwing a party, and there's like a gay guy there too. And then suddenly like Jay Cutler walks in the room, like, what is Jay Cutler doing here? It's so weird. But apparently it was his wife, Kristen Cavallari, whatever her name is. She was the main character of the show. So it was her reality show, but Jay Cutler just happened to be in it because he's her husband. So And like he's like awkwardly like holding a drink in his hands, and then just like it's like that's like this handshake with the gay guy. Like it looked like he didn't know what to do. He was just standing there.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Remember when the Broncos traded Jay Cutler for Kyle Orton?
Oh my God, yeah. That was wild. That was wild. To be fair, I'm sure 9 to 10 kids is pretty loud. Yeah. Well, he's grandkids too. He's a grandson too, or grandchild too. Jackson won 3 or 4 by 17 or more at Denver next week. That'll be a good game. We'll see what the Jaguars are made of in Denver for sure. Should be fun. All right, Tom, you're up with the next pick.
Okay, let's see. Where should we go here? Okay, Ravens versus Bengals. Okay, I hadn't really thought too much about this game at first, but let me tell you something about this Ravens team, man. It's like they have this division like handed to them on a silver platter, and they're like, "No, we don't want it." It's just like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They barely beat the Browns with Shedeur Sanders, and they didn't cover. They didn't cover by half a point against Shedeur Sanders in his first start.
Yep.
They lose to the Bengals on Thanksgiving. They lose to the Steelers. Are you kidding me? Aaron Rodgers looked like freaking MVP, like his old MVP self. What a joke, man. And it's like now and they've had every chance to make this to salvage the season and win the division after all those injuries they had at the beginning of the year. And it's just like it's like the old bounce back adage. I don't think bounce back to last year. No, like we haven't really seen them play well this year, save for maybe a game or two. But I mean, I don't know that it's gonna get any better. I'm telling you what, Flowers is so unreliable. It's like he's always fumbling or doing something stupid. That fourth down that they went for on near the end, he almost went backwards and missed it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like he's just I don't know. He's always like causing a problem, at least when I need him not to. Defense looked clueless on that Warren touchdown too.
Yeah.
It's just like they look so sloppy on that last drive. It's just I don't know. I was never a huge fan of Lamar Jackson. I don't dislike him or anything, but I always just thought he was a little bit overrated. Yeah, he's had some great seasons, but it's like sometimes it's like, I don't know. When he's going to throw the ball, I'm just kind of thinking, I don't know what's going to happen here. It seems like it's happening more and more often just from the eye test. I like the Bengals, man. I like the Bengals here. They're deep. I know they gave up a lot of points against the Bills, but I'll give them a bit of a mulligan since it was a snow game. But I mean, damn, I don't know. I think we just keep. Oh, like the Ravens are going to get this one, and this 2.5 line looks like they'll come back and bounce. Dude, Burrow is freaking lighting it up in that game.
Yeah,
and like Gesicki had a huge game.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I can't imagine that's gonna stop. I think this is remember the Bengals did the same thing last year where. Well, I think they had a better chance of making the playoffs last year where they went on a great run and he and Chase, Burrow and Chase were, just going insane pretty much every game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's what we might see out of them the rest of the season. And the Ravens, what? We think they're gonna play like the team we saw last year or like the perennial contenders that we've seen? Because they don't look like perennial contenders this year to me. Not to me. And I think this minus 2.5 is a little bit, I think it's 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of inviting you to take the Ravens. I think I like the Bengals here. I think their defense has played better. I know they gave up a lot of points to Buffalo, but I don't know. I'm not. It's not like a definite for me, but I think everyone's holding their breath, like waiting for the Ravens to bounce back. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree with you. The one thing that you could maybe say about the Ravens is they have a good chance to get Ardarius Washington back from injury. He hasn't played all year. He got hurt in the summer, and that was considered a big deal because they drafted Malachi Starks to play alongside him, and they last year they had to move what's his face, Kyle Hamilton from linebacker to safety because they had so many issues with safety, and I think with a Darius Washington there and healthier safeties, they could maybe move Hamilton back to linebacker and make things better defensively. I think there's a chance that their defense improves. We saw their defense play really well at times, like that you're talking about, like what games have they been impressive. That the one that really sticks out as a really good performance was against the Bears when Lamar Jackson was out, and they still won by margin, the original margin of Lamar Jackson with Tyler Huntley at quarterback. But Lamar Jackson hasn't been healthy. Like even after the mini bye last week, he wasn't healthy. He wasn't running around like he used to. He was running around a little bit more, but like not with the same like decisiveness and like electricity that he's usually has. And
Agreed.
But here's the thing, like that could change on any given week. Like this was the first week where he was not DMP because of an injury on Wednesday. But then again, he was DMP because of rest on Wednesday. So I don't know if that's like any different. I don't know if that's any different. So I'm not saying that he's suddenly healthy. I just don't know. But Derrick Henry does look washed up. He's certainly not the same running back we saw before. And yeah, even though the defense might get Washington back, which is still unknown at this point, but like their defense has not played well for a while. They allowed 32 points to Cincinnati, and then last week 27 to Pittsburgh. Now 32 to Cincinnati's I can understand, but 27 to the Steelers, who Aaron Rodgers couldn't complete a pass over line of scrimmage the week before. That was kind of wild. First play was 55 yards to Metcalf. As soon as that happened, I'm like, like, because I had the Ravens on my card. I'm like, this is not gonna end well, So, and that was the only I think that was the only big play I got wrong last week. So anyway, I'm with you on the Bengals here. I think I'm less confident in it than you are. Like I think I only have 2 units on the Bengals, but still, like it's still a play, and I certainly would. I would have it on the card if you wanted it, because Evan and I are going to have it on our card. So I feel good enough about it to like it, but to put on the card, but not like great enough to put it as like a high play. You know what I mean?
I got you. Yeah, let's put on the maybes for now.
All right. But Cincinnati plus 2.5 on the maybes. Okay. So we got 2 definites and 1 maybe.
Okay. Your turn.
So let's talk about another perennial contender that is in trouble right now. The Chiefs are minus what are they in real life? Minus 5.5 in the contest. I think it's the same number. Yeah, it's 5.5 in the contest. It's actually 4.5 in the Westgate. So I think this is a really terrible spot for the Chargers. You said you had them Monday Night Football. It's a great call by you. But the Chargers they're coming off an overtime game on Monday Night Football where they played about 150 snaps, and it's a grueling game, like tough defensive battle. They're going to have 1 fewer day of prep time, and they have to travel almost like halfway across the country. So that's basically, they're going to lose time doing that, going from west to east. So it's like a really short week here of preparation, and they're going to be exhausted. So like, spot wise, this is just awful for the Chargers, and plus the Chiefs need to win this game. This is do or die. I know they've had some do or die games and they haven't succeeded, but like this is true do or die. Like they lose, they are done. So they're down to their last life, playing video games. It's like they've zero remaining lives, and they're down. If like things out, they have 1 heart left. This is them, like the heart's beeping and stuff. So I think that there's a good chance that they bounce back here, and I think their offensive line situation, while not ideal, because they're still going to be missing their left tackle and their right guard. I thought Trey Smith was going to play. He's out, unfortunately. So they're going to be missing those 2 linemen. And I know the right tackle's out too, but they have a good backup in Jalen Moore there. So really only 2 linemen missing. But the Chargers have a worse offensive line situation because they're down their top 3 tackles. Like they're down to tackles 4 and 5, trying to protect against the Chiefs team that can get after the quarterback. And then they also have a guard issue because Mekhi Becton is so slow and so fat. Like he's terrible. He can't block at all. He took that contract and bought Oreos and Cheetos with it, I guess, because like he looks like he can't move. So they have 3 huge liabilities on the offensive line, and if it wasn't for the Eagles' incompetence Monday night, the Chargers would have lost. And you have Philip Rivers playing with a broken hand, like not getting in protection. Like anytime he gets hit, he's like basically fumbling because he can't really hold on to the ball. And by the way, this is going to be, you know me, I don't like trust the weather because I think all weathermen lie. But if you do trust the weather and you think this might be an accurate forecast, it's going to be 18 degrees in Kansas City. This LA team, who's they live up their life living in 70-degree weather every single day. They have to play in 18-degree weather. 18 degrees is pretty rough. Like people were talking about last week, like Tua playing. Oh, Tua's at 40 degrees, you might lose. Like there's a huge difference between 40 and 18. And so I don't know, these guys who play indoors in nice weather, they're gonna have a rough go of it in Kansas City. So I think a lot of reasons to take the Chiefs here. I hate the line. I hate that the line's 5.5, but the Sharps bet this up. This was lower. The Sharps bet it up to 5.5, so the Sharps like it. And again, the Sharps like the Chiefs last week, but still, they're bound to be right one of these times. So I like the Chiefs here. What do you think about this game?
Geez, this is actually one that I didn't really put much thought into at all. I didn't think much of it. No, isn't Herbert still hurt too? I don't know. Yeah. So I do like that angle for sure. I just, man, I was watching that game against Houston. Kansas City was the one game I lost on my card last week, and it was just like, man, how many passes are you guys going to drop? You know, and it's just the mojo. The mojo is just completely gone almost. There's like nothing there. It's just. And it almost feels, I don't want to say it's like, I described earlier this season the Titans as like, it's completely hopeless. It's not like that, obviously, but at the same time, like I knew that after like the first quarter that they weren't going to win that game. And they really had a chance to cover. What did I have them at? 3, I think. So and it's like it was 10-10, and it's just like, come on.
I think they would have won if Andy Reid didn't go for it on the 31, because he basically gave him a field goal for no reason. It's not like they were losing and they had to go for it. Like, it was a tie game. Let's just punt it away. The Texans weren't scoring any. The Texans didn't score a single offensive point in that game. In the second half, outside of the 10 points that they got off of the field position stuff that they went for it, and also the turnover. Like the Texans were not doing nothing offensively. Chiefs defense was playing great in the second half.
Yeah, that was tough to watch, that one for me. So I don't know. I do like the angle, like your reasoning and the angle here. I don't know, the Chargers, man. I almost swapped them out on Monday night, but I was just like, we'll get into the Eagles later. But
you almost swapped them out to the Eagles.
I thought about it because I was just like, man, I knew it was going to be like a, This was going to be a tough game to watch for me with plus 2.5, and it was, but I don't know. I was thinking, I wasn't like really like about to do it, but I was like, should I, I was second guessing, I guess I should just chalk it up as. I like the reasoning. I feel like this is also going to play out similarly to when the Chiefs hosted the Lions.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Geez, just like Kansas City scares me. It's weird. And I know, I just, like you had said before, another team we're saying, okay, they're going to bounce back to form. And it's just like, well, that form we're thinking of, we haven't really seen this year. Right. Thinking of a form that hasn't existed this year. So, I don't know. I still have my hesitations. It would be Chiefs or nothing for sure. So, I mean, if we can't find anything else, you could probably talk me into it, but I like it. I don't love it. So,
all right, we'll put it on the maybe pile. So we got 2 definites, 2 maybes. So that's the question here. Did you see the Seahawks line clearing 14 time to lock in? Or do you see? It could for sure. I think we could lock it in. In fact, I might do that tonight after the show. So it's a good call, Sue. I think that I don't see it going down. It could go up or remain the same, but like I said, I don't think it goes down. So I think it's safe to lock in. Okay. You're up with your 5th or your 3rd pick, the 5th pick overall tonight.
Yeah, okay. So let's jump ahead to Monday night. Let's look at Dolphins Steelers. I thought this
Mhm.
was interesting because one of my buddies who's a diehard Steelers fan was texting our group chat and saying he's like he said he really liked the Dolphins. That's
Okay.
as a Steelers fan saying that. Um, Look, man, the Dolphins, for as bad as they've looked at time, they've won 5 out of 6. Like Waller's come along, he's looked pretty good, and since they've gotten him, Dolchich has had some good games. Waddle's had some good games. Achan, I don't know. I think they keep this game close. Remember that Miami team? Was it like 2021 or 2020? I can't remember when they started out with a really bad, or maybe it was even earlier than that. They started out with a pretty bad record, and I think they won like their last 6. They won
Yeah.
like 6 in a row late in the season. I don't know. I have this weird feeling that this Dolphins team could maybe do the same. They have some weapons on offense. They've been utilizing Dulcich. He's had some nice catches for him. You know,
Mhm.
Waller's had a bunch of touchdowns.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It kind of reminds me of that Dolphins team that did exactly what I'm predicting they might. And I have them locked in on my bookie card at 3.5. We're also getting them at 3.5 in the circa. So I don't know. Because I know on my bookie it moved back to 3. So I was glad I had it locked in. I like the Dolphins here, and with any luck, this will be that 2007 Monday night game after Thanksgiving. Remember that Mud Bowl? It was Dolphins at
Yeah. Three
Steelers,
nothing. Three
and it was
nothing.
3-0. That'd be
Mhm.
fine by me. If we had another 3-0 Steelers win, which outside of last game as we mentioned against the Ravens might have been all I've expected out of this Steelers offense that's looked absolutely dreadful
Yeah.
at times this year. But I don't know why they it's just like Rogers looked like his old self for a game, and it's just like it's so funny because I sat here at some point in the last couple weeks and said like Rogers is going to bounce back to what? Maybe I even said that last week, and
Mhm.
there he goes and does it. He has a
Yep.
good game, but I don't know. I think that says more about the Ravens honestly than anything because I don't know. The Steelers team looks pretty lost. And also like I think the Ravens looked weak on defense, and they've looked weak on defense on several occasions. So I think it's more likely that than like the Steelers woke up necessarily. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I even though I have them locked in at 3.5, and now I have some line value there. I'm still not necessarily going to keep it. I think it's a maybe for me, but I like the Dolphins here. It's definitely Dolphins or nothing for me.
Okay.
So do you have any interest in this one?
I had a lot of interest in the Steelers.
Mm.
Now, uh, something has changed, but initially, and I get what you're saying that the Dolphins have won some games, but it's all fraudulent because their past 3 games that they won, they needed a muffed punt in Spain to beat the Redskins. Okay, the Redskins were going to get a punt. They were going to be at midfield. They needed just one first down to win at the end of the game, and they muffed the punt. And the game actually went to overtime. Mariota threw an interception. That's how they beat the Redskins. So that's congratulations to the Dolphins for that. And then their next game they played against the Saints, where they had a 16-0 lead. They blew it. There was a pick 2 in that game. If it wasn't for that pick 2, the Saints would have drove and kicked the field goal at the end. I don't know if they would have converted on the field goal, but they would have had a chance to kick the field goal for the win at the end. So this is at home against the Saints. And then last week, Tyrod Taylor throws 4 passes before he gets hurt, and it's Brady Cook the rest of the way. So their past 3 games, they've beaten one of the 5 worst teams in the NFL, one of the 5 worst teams in the NFL, and one of the 5 worst teams in the NFL without a quarterback. And by the way, the first bottom 5 team also had their starting quarterback out. So like you have to be like this Dolphin team is just like it's basically like they're 6-7 records, like building on a house of cards. It feels like so fraudulent here, and this is definitely a step up in competition. The Steelers aren't a great team by any means. I don't even know if they're not any good either. But if they're average, and they might just be average, then they are much better than the teams the Dolphins have faced over the past several weeks. But and also here's another thing before I get to the but. It's going to be cold in Pittsburgh. It's going to be 19 degrees in Pittsburgh. This Miami team, again, they have a cold weather team. Tua has never won in a temperature like this. And people were saying that last week. Tua's never won in colder than 45. It was like 41 at the Meadowlands. Like that's, again, like 41 is not bad. Like I'll like it was 25 today here in Philly. I'll take 41. Like 41, I would have had my shorts on because I went to the gym. At 25, like 20, like it's not, it's even colder than that, and it's gonna be 18 or like what I say 19 degrees in Pittsburgh or 20. It's gonna be super cold here, and Tua has never won in this sort of weather. Miami typically struggles in this sort of weather, but the big but here is TJ Watt's lung injury, where he suffered a lung injury and now he's gonna be out of the game. And like we know that TJ Watt is worth so many points. He that 1 year, I don't remember if it was 2021 or 2022. I think it was 2022.
I think it's 22. I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. The like TJ Watt was out for like half a year. I don't know what the breakdown was. It was about half of the year, and the difference in scoring when Watt was in versus out was a touchdown. It's 7 points. He means that much for this defense. So they're like, if the Steelers were average with TJ Watt, then maybe they are bad without TJ Watt. And if they are bad, then this certainly could be another team that Miami beats. But I still don't trust Miami as a team as a whole. I don't trust a bad team off a win. I don't trust this Miami team in cold weather, frigid cold weather. And also, as Pat said, Tomlin hasn't lost a game on Monday Night Football at home. The Steelers have a great track record on Monday Night Football. I like the Steelers for so many reasons, but now without TJ Watt. Also, by the way, Cameron Hayward popped up the injury report today as well. Now he still has tomorrow to practice as well. But if he's out too, then just forget about it. I might like the Dolphins along with you. But but with no TJ Watt, it's so hard to bet the Steelers here. The Sharps did jump on Miami plus 3.5 when the Watt news broke, or maybe it's the books moving the line. So all in all, I don't have a strong feel for this game. But for me, it's Steelers or nothing right now because I don't trust this Miami team at all.
All right, no, and that's fair too. You make a lot of good points there. So now maybe I'm glad we had this talk.
Okay,
maybe I take it off my card.
Okay. Well, you have a good number. 3.5 is much different than 3. And I know that it's 3.5 in the circuit too. I'm just talking about like the line right now being 3.5. So.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Find another one here.
All right. My next game I'd like to nominate is the Rams minus. It's 6 in real life right now. It is it's also 6 in the circle. Okay, I thought for some reason I thought it was 5.5. It was 5.5. It's moved up to 6. Thanks to sharp money moving the line on the Rams. Now maybe it moves down. Maybe this is phantom money, as we talked about a few times here. Sometimes I'm making up numbers here, but sometimes like a sharp, like super sharp better would be like, okay, I'm taking 200,000 on the Rams. The line moves, and then like on game day, they're like, all right, 500,000 on the Lions. They'll do something like that to make the line move one way so they could get a better number. But all indications now are the Rams are getting the sharp money, and I'm not surprised to see that, just because I think the Rams are the best team in the NFL. I think most people agree with that, especially like how they bounced back last week, and then. I even said last week, I'm like, if the Rams are the best team in the NFL, they're going to destroy the Cardinals, because we saw that from the Eagles last year. They lost late to the Redskins late in the year, and then they bounced back the next week. They ripped the Cowboys apart. It wasn't even close. So, and that's how they rebounded against the Cardinals. This may seem like a close matchup. I think a lot of people would, and a lot of people are taking the Lions. I believe that the Lions are getting some of the most public money in the NFL this week. Yeah, it's like 75% of the money. 75% of the bets are on the Lions, which doesn't, yet the line is moving toward the Rams. And this doesn't surprise me at all, because people still think the Lions are a great team. They were 15-2 last week. They're still known as having this great offense, and Dan Campbell, and like everyone loves them. But the way they played this year against top competition has been really lackluster. They played against they've had 5 games against teams that I would rank in Group A and Group B. Do you want to guess what the record is against those teams?
Oh, wait, how many games was it?
They played 5 games against teams in Group A and Group B this year. Do you want to guess? It's not 0-5, but do you want to guess what
one and 4?
It's 1-4, and the one win has an asterisk. The one win was against Baltimore, 38-30 on Monday Night Football, and at the time, everyone thought that was a really impressive win. But then Baltimore got blown out at Kansas City, and then they lost 2 more games. That was like the stretch where they started losing players left and right, and they were just a shell of themselves eventually. So like that win isn't that impressive. The other games they lost, just keep in mind the margins here: 27-13 to the Packers, 30-7 to the Chiefs, and we've seen the Chiefs how they've reacted since. 16-9 to the Eagles, who have not played well either, and 31-24 to the Packers at home. So they have not stayed within 6 points of any team in this Group A or Group B, and the line just happens to be 6. So I really don't see the Lions really being overly competitive with the Rams. Maybe they are for the first quarter or so, or maybe like quarter and a half. But I think the Rams eventually distance themselves, and the Rams have such a great pass rush. Like they will get to Jared Goff, and Jared Goff, he folds like a cheap suit when he sees pressure. He's one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL when he sees pressure. He's going to see pressure in this game. So I love the Rams here. What do you think about this game?
Oh, wow. Well, this was another one I didn't really think much of. I don't know. This seems like this line is really begging you to take Detroit. And as you said, that there's a lot of public money there. I think I heard you say they're the most heavily bet side this week. Doesn't surprise me. The line does seem like Vegas is really trying to get you to take Detroit here. Geez, the only counter I can give, you may be able to talk me into this, and we can probably put it on the maybe. But I mean, Rams are looking ahead to Seattle, right? They play Seattle next week.
Yeah,
the following week, and
in 4 days.
Yeah, and then, and the Lions really need this game. And real quick, before anyone says, "Why do I like the Seahawks? Don't they have the same look ahead?" I don't think so, given the scenario they're going up against with a retired quarterback sort of situation. So I think that's different for the record. But yeah, I think there's potential look ahead, probably in a game that but I don't know. I guess they're probably not going to look past the Lions. I mean, the Lions are maybe better, or probably better than their record indicates. They really need this game too. They really need this game. So,
to quote the great Dave Koken, he said if a team needs to win, they're probably not good enough in the first place.
That's true. It's true. Sorry, I'm munching on trail mix over here. I had it nearby.
I didn't make me hungry, man. Like,
I'm sorry.
Anyway,
I'll order you shakaroni delivered.
I would be surprised if they look ahead to the Seahawks. I know that's a big game, but the Rams are playing for the 1 seed, and they had their look ahead game 2 weeks ago, like against the Panthers. It's not going to happen that soon. If they were coached by Raheem Morris, sure, it could happen. But Sean McVay is not going to allow this team to have 2 flat spots in 3 weeks. I'd be surprised if that happened. Plus, by the way, this is Stafford's former team, and it's a team that knocked them out of the playoffs 2 years ago and beat them last year at week 1 in a marquee Sunday night game. Like this is a team that the Lions are on the radar. They're 15-2 last year. Like I think the Rams will perceive the Lions as a threat. Even though this line's 6, like I still think, like, and this is the big Fox game, like you're gonna Brady calling this game. Like, this is a big game. I'd be shocked if the Rams look at.
Okay. Well, no, that's fair, but then I'll say it's Jared Goff's former team. You think there's more revenge for Stafford? There's more for Stafford, I guess, because Detroit beat him in the playoffs, I suppose.
Look, my point is it's not like revenge either way. My point is that Stafford's going to take this game seriously. Like Goff will too, but I'm like Stafford's not going to overlook his former team.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, that's what I meant by that.
Man, Nakua had some incredible catches, huh?
Oh yeah, he's a monster. By the way, I'm doing playoff best ball. He is the number 1 or number 2 pick every time. It's like him or Josh Allen. It's an interesting debate. I'm sure we're going to talk about it with Kenny on Tuesday. But yeah, that's I've drafted for some reason I keep having the first pick and I keep taking Nakua because I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to have the first pick for like sometimes, and I won't be able to get him. but I keep getting him. So I'm not that I'm complaining. It just think it's funny that I keep getting the top pick.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you wouldn't. What about Devontae Adams? He's going to have 20 touchdowns and 300 yards receiving.
The dream is to, because it's a 6-man league. So the dream is to get Nakua at 101 and then Adams at 206. So you have both of them. And then the real dream is to get Stafford at 301. That doesn't happen, but that happened to me once where I got Nakua and then Adams, but not Stafford. So I've got Nakua and Stafford, but not Adams. So like, that's gonna be the challenge. But yeah, I love play at best ball. It's great. It's $1 million for first place, by the way.
Oh man, I'll be rooting for you.
Thank you.
Rooting for you.
I already have 15 entries, so
nice. Oh,
hopefully one of them comes through. That's all it takes, right?
Exactly.
Anyway, Trail Mix not Cocoa Puffs.
I'm cuckoo enough, man. I'm cuckoo enough.
By the way, I was hoping I had this downstairs. I don't. It's upstairs. I was at the $5 store, 5 and below, with my son yesterday. By the way, they have stuff for like $12. So like, what is this 5 and below? And so they do. They have the 12. It's like it says $12. I'm like, wait, what? I thought it's not 12 and below.
Well, it's called 5 below, not 5 and below.
5 below. Is it really? Okay.
Yeah. But the implication is it's $5 and below.
So what's the difference? 5 below what?
No, but you're saying the store's name is 5 and below. The store's name is 5 below.
So what's the difference?
The word and isn't there anymore.
Anymore? It was there, and it's
the store. Like I'm heading over to 5 below. I'm not heading over to 5 and below.
Yeah, but you just said it changed. You said it's not there anymore. Does that mean it was there? And
no. I mean, because I said no. I mean, in one example it's in there, in one example it's not. Now I'm confusing myself. Yeah, the store's called 5 below.
Okay, but like, what's the difference between 5 below and 5 and below? Just 5 below what?
No, 5 below is the name of the store, but everything in it is supposedly $5 and below.
Right. So why wouldn't they call it 5 and below?
Well,
like,
I'm not debating. I'm not
debating
that it shouldn't be in there, but I'm just letting you know it's not.
5 below 10. That's
I don't want you to be be disconnected with the times, man. It's like, oh, that guy calls it 5 and below.
Maybe I'll start a trend. Everyone starts to call it 5
That's
and below.
True.
I'll have to change it. Or I think this is Mandela effect. So I swear to God, it was 5 and below.
Now you're making me think. No, because I went in there, I bought some sunglasses for $5. That fell under the advertised criteria. Slew has Quacky in a cross-examination here. I don't know. You were like, I went over to, and the store name was 5 and below, and I was just saying the store is just called 5 below.
I think this is Mandela effect. I really think this is 5 and below. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I think we're in a. I really do think we're in a simulation.
Me too. You want to know? It's interesting you say that. I had like my own personal Mandela effect with something. Remember the 07-08 year when the Giants beat the undefeated Patriots?
Mm-hmm.
I swear, I swear to you that I saw this graphic like years after. It was like trivia that the Giants were the first team to start 0-2 and win the Super Bowl. I swear I saw that graphic.
How the Patriots did it with Brady.
I know, and I think the Cowboys did it one year
with Emmett's holdout. Yeah.
But like, I'm telling you, I saw it like on like a Fox, like how they bring up like the graphics.
Yeah.
I swear I saw that, but it's not true. It's not true. So that one, I had like my own Mandela effect with that.
Yeah, it's weird. I wonder, maybe it displayed something else, and maybe you're tired or something.
Yeah.
Look, these graphics are created by people. Like they could easily be someone could have just made a mistake.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so. Or maybe there's another stipulation to it too. Like they started 0-2 and they did something else.
Right. No, that definitely could be. That's the late great, may he rest in peace. Jared Lorenzen was on that team. The hefty lefty guy was a legend.
Oh yeah, he was awesome.
He played on the River Monsters in the Arena League.
I remember.
Yeah,
I remember
he got a Super Bowl ring that year. He came in like week 3, I think, in week 2 or week 3. He did come in and back up.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Andy says game means little to the Rams. I disagree because if they lose and the Packers win, the Packers have the 1 seed. The Rams are kicked out of the 1 seed. So I don't think this means little to the Rams. And given that like they've had this minor rivalry with the Lions, like I think they come out hard here. I don't think they take this one off. So yeah, I love the Rams here. So how do you feel about this game? You seem hesitant.
Yeah, I mean, I'd take the Rams if I had to. I think Vegas is really inviting you to take Detroit here.
Yes,
but I agree. They're the best team. I don't think they're going to have. It's very unlikely, in my opinion, that they're going to have another flat spot like we already saw with Carolina. Mm-hmm. So, the Lions defense. I mean, we saw Jameis Winston and the Giants light them up. I mean. I think there's a high likelihood that Nakua and Adams can do the same. So, we'll put them on the maybe pile, but I'll go with the Rams.
All right. Two things before we move on to your next pick. One, you completely derailed my tangent when I said I went with my son to 5 and below, and you're like 5 below.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm such a.
I just realized. I just realized. Like, wait.
Oh, my bad, man. I'm sorry.
You better be sorry. Trail mix, why not Cocoa Puffs? So this got me thinking. When I was there, and then again we saw stuff for $12. We went there to get he has one of these Christmas things with his preschool where he has to give someone a present, and then someone has to give him a present. One of those what are they called? I forget what they're called. Like Pollyanna.
Yeah.
So anyway, we were there for that. But when we were in line, I couldn't believe I saw this. It was crazy. It was maybe it's not that crazy. You guys see it too, but Cocoa Pebbles chocolate bar. I was like, oh, this is tremendous. I used to eat Cocoa Pebbles all the time. And so I bought it. I haven't opened it yet. I promised my son he would get some of it because I bought a book from my daughter and he didn't get anything. So I was like, hey, do you want to split this chocolate bar? Because he couldn't decide. He's like, oh, wait, I want this. I want this. I want this. Like, he kept going back and forth. I'm like, dude, can you pick? And he's like, what, Daddy? I want that and that and that. You just like, what? I'm like, dude, we have to go. We have to go to dinner. And so I was like, how about we split a chocolate bar? He's like, okay. Yeah. So after all that. So anyway, I'm so excited to try this.
You gotta let me know. I might have to get me some of that. I love Cocoa Puffs. Cocoa Pebbles.
Cocoa Pebbles. Yeah, Cocoa Puffs and Pebbles. Great.
Pebbles, Puffs, mix them up.
Yeah. I never put them in the same bowl. I'd love to try that once though.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah. Also, the other thing I wanted to mention, I mentioned how the Lions are getting a ton of action this week, but they are not the team getting the most action. Actually, they are number 3 at 75%. They are number 3. There are the number 1 team is getting 80%, and the number 2 team is getting 79%. Would you like to guess?
I knew you were gonna make me guess, and I'm gonna do terrible.
Well, I'll give you a hint. They are both underdogs. These 2 teams that are getting the most action.
Okay, so you said the Lions were number 3.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and say, oh boy.
And you want? I'll let you get one guess, and then I'll give you another hint.
Okay, I'm gonna say the Bengals.
Bengals are number 1. Good job. You said you're going to lose, and yeah, Bengals are number 1. 80% Bengals. Yep.
This is probably my own, but I'm gonna go with the Broncos.
Not the Broncos. The other hint I was going to give you, and you'll see why. We've discussed both games already.
Oh, geez. The Colts.
Not the Colts. No.
Oh. What else do we? The Dolphins. Wait, what was the other? Oh, the Chargers.
Chargers number 2. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, that makes me like Kansas City more. So.
Yep.
Interesting. I didn't do too bad guessing. Usually, I'm terrible at that.
Yeah, you did well. You're on a heater. I'm not surprised at you.
I'm in a way. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You're up with the next game.
All right. How about the Browns and the Bears? Oh boy, that was a good. I watched the Packers-Bears game start to finish. just by itself, no red zone or anything, and it was a fun game to watch. I was very glad the Packers were -6.5. I didn't think I was going to get there. I had them on my card. So, but what a really good game. I knew it was going to be a hard fought game. I think Green Bay played better than the score than the margin of the victory indicated, in my opinion. But I don't know, man. Okay, so I feel like we always say a lot of times we get in these matchups with these Cleveland games, and a lot of times it's true that of the 4 units on the field, the Browns defense is the best unit on the field, and that's often true because they do have a strong defense.
Mm-hmm.
However, it didn't look like it last week, especially when Tony Pollard rushes for 161 yards. Prior to that, in 67 in his last 9 games, Pollard's previous rushing high was 67 yards in the previous 9 games.
Yeah,
and they let him go for 161. He had two touchdowns in the game. He had 2 touchdowns all season prior to that.
Crazy.
And it's just like what happened here? Like I don't know. Like suddenly. Yeah, I mean, obviously Garrett is having a career season, but I don't know. How do you? And I'm sorry. How do you lose to the Titans? I mean, I know anything can happen, and as I said earlier, Shadur had a good game. He looked very good at times out there, But man, I just you let the freaking Titans put 31 on you. And I know their defense, every great unit is going to have a bad game. I get that, but that wasn't good. So to me, I'm kind of like, well, they're not going to phone it in as long as they have Sanders out there because I know he's going to try. So, but geez, I don't know. And what do the Bears do well? Well, they run the ball really well.
Yeah.
So
Great
just
and running well.
Just saying, they give a running back who hasn't had very much success at all this season on the ground, 161 yards. I'm inclined to take the Bears. I think the number we're getting is 7.5 though, which is not appealing, but I mean, hell, and it's, I don't know. I think that's going to be a tough place to play. It's going to be. I mean, I know Cleveland's cold too, but I actually have a friend going to this game. I think it's going to be like 10 degrees. So
yeah, it's going to be super cold. I think 12 degrees I saw as the forecast.
Oh, was it? Okay,
yeah.
So I don't know. I have some interest in the Bears, but let me see. Is it 7.5 here? I think it. 7.5. So it's not super appealing, but I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be against putting it on there. I want to see what you think.
So I came into the week thinking maybe the Browns, and then I saw the injury report for the Browns, and it looks awful. I mean, I would say that the reason why they allowed so many rushing yards to Tennessee last week was they had so many injuries. Like they lost Malik Collins, one of the defensive tackles, injury, and then Mason Graham was playing really hurt last week, and he wasn't himself. So both their defensive tackles were out or hurt, and then Mason Graham's like barely practiced again this week. Like, what if he misses? This team has so many injuries. Denzel Ward, their top corner, is gonna be out. Devin Bush, their linebacker, one of their 2 starting linebackers, he's really banged up too. And then the offensive line is pretty brutal too. They've had 4 injuries on the offensive line. I want to pull up exactly what they have because it's like pretty devastating. So their left tackle is intact, but he's not that good. They lost their center, Ethan Posick, for the year. And it's not like they have a good backup. Their backup is this guy, Luke Whippler, who's like awful. Jack Conklin, the right tackle's out. Now his replacement is not that bad. And then Wyatt Teller, one of their guards is out, but his replacement actually like played better than Wyatt Teller did. Tevin Jenkins, sorry, who played for the Bears. He's actually like a really good player. I was kind of like, why is he on the bench? Like he's actually really good. But those 2 guys are out, and so like I'd say like slight downgrade, then actually maybe upgrade. But still, their center is out. And then they have this issue at their other guard spot, Joel Pisonio, who's usually really good. He was DMP limited this week. And then his replacement will be this guy, Zach Zinter. But Zach Zinter barely practiced. He went from limited DMP with a back injury. So like there's a chance. I assume they're going to just drag one of these guys to play, even if like they can't play. But if they're both out, they actually don't have another body in the interior. Like they have no one to replace those guys. They'd have to call someone up on the practice squad. Their offensive line is so beat up right now, and their defense is ravaged by injury too. Like this is a really rough spot for the Browns in terms of being healthy. Now I'll say this for the Bears, it could be a bad spot for them because I know they're coming off a loss, but after this game, they have to play the Packers and then the 49ers and then the Lions. So this is like the ultimate like look ahead spot potentially, but given that they're coming off a loss, I'm not sure if that applies because I think if they had beaten the Packers, this would definitely be a letdown spot. But would they lose 2 in a row? Plus, as you forgot, interconference on the road too.
That's right. Oh my God, that's good for us and the Bears.
Maybe, yeah. Interconference home too. No, I'm inclined to side with Chicago. I don't know if I like it all that much, but if you really like it, then we can put it on the card. So it's up to you how much you like this team.
Yeah, I mean, we can put it in the maybes. I'm not like super eager, I would say. But
okay, well, we got 4 maybes and 2 definites, so we'll
wow.
have to come up with something here. In the next game I'll discuss. Well, you just talked about the Titans, so let's go to the Titans. Titans at the 49ers. I'm always up to fade the Titans. I know they've covered some games recently. They've quote unquote played better, but 3 of their covers seemed like kind of fraudulent or just kind of. Circumstance based because 2 of their covers came when the punt returner scored a touchdown, Shamari DK. Without those punt returns, they would not have covered those games. And then their third cover was last week against the Browns, who just lost like player after player. And I mentioned their center went down. They have a bunch of guys who got hurt in that game. So it's hard to take that win seriously, just given that, when your opponent, I don't care who you are, when your opponent loses like half the starters throughout the game, you're going to have a good chance to win. So, the Niners are healthier. They have their linebacker back from injury, Tatum Bethune, who's done a good job replacing Fred Warner. The Niners are off the bye. And then whenever you have like Kyle Shanahan against a weak defense with liabilities, he's going to find a way to exploit it. Like he's going to have a great game plan prepared for the Titans. He's going to be able to score. I feel like the Titans or the Niners are going to score like almost every time they have the ball. And the Titans will score a little bit too. The Niners defense has been weakened by the injuries to Bosa and Warner, but I think the Niners could easily get to like the high 30s, 40s. Like remember they played Arizona recently, and Arizona is obviously better than Tennessee, and they destroyed Arizona. The score was what was the score? It was 41-22, and that was in Arizona. So that's like a recent game that they had against a team that's either like below average or worse. And I know that they and also they beat the Browns 26-8. Now they were handed that game with short fields and everything, but like who's to say that wouldn't have gone that way anyway? Plus the game was played in like bad weather. And then like the one game that was like semi close, it was against the Panthers where that game was. It was 20-9 and like semi-close. That almost covers the spread, but that was with Brock Purdy throwing like 3 weird interceptions. So I don't know if that happens again. So like I just think the Niners are a lot better than the Titans, who obviously the Titans are one of the 2 worst teams in the league. And like I said, I'm always down to fade Tennessee, a horrible team like this, especially off a win. So what do you think about this game?
Yeah, I like the 49ers too. I'm willing to put them on the card. Hey, I know they've had a lot of injuries on defense, but I mean, this again, as I said many times, the Titans team is maybe the worst team I've ever seen in my 30 years of watching football. So I don't like to back a team of that caliber to coming off of a win. Not to mention, in addition to that, I also think I mentioned this on the show last week. That game was Cam Ward's Super Bowl. In a way, he didn't want to get outdone. He didn't want to lose that game to Shedeur Sanders. He still didn't. I mean, he had 2 touchdown passes, but he only threw for 117 yards. So it's just like I don't know. It seemed like one of his better efforts. Mm-hmm. So I mean, what are we expecting to happen here? Also it's interconference on the road, so that's bad for them.
Bad for them too.
That's bad for the Titans.
Okay.
Yeah. So. I don't know. You know, I feel like I've read the Titans pretty well this year too. I've taken them a couple times when they have covered.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't taken them very often, but the times I have, they've covered. But I just don't see it this time, especially coming off of a win. I don't know. It just doesn't seem that offense is. I know they put up 31, but their offense is. Seen some games where, as I've described to you before, it's like it's hopeless. Like the game is going to be over. Like before, like after the first drive, like they have no chance.
Yeah.
So
you can tell sometimes.
Yeah, I think the 49ers could cover this pretty easily.
If DK hadn't returned those 2 touchdowns, and I know that, I mean, look, he's a good player, but the special teams touchdowns are so fluky.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would seem so much easier too, right? Because they wouldn't have had those covers against Seattle and the Chargers, right? Like that. This would seem like way more obvious. Don't you think that's true, or am I off there?
No. I think so.
Okay. All right. So that is our pick. You're good to. You said you're good to put on the card.
Yeah. That sounds good to me.
All right, that's our third definite. You're up with the next pick. So where are we going?
Okay, let's see here. Okay, I didn't think much of this game at first, but let's look at Panthers at Saints. Hey, the talking about bad teams that I've read pretty well. Speaking of the Saints, I had them on my card last week. I've taken them, I think, 4 or 5 times on my card, and they've covered every time. This team plays tough, and I think they're going to play hard the rest of the way out. Shuck out after that first performance against the Rams, arguably the best team in the league. He's played a lot better. He looked pretty good against Tampa. Actually, he did have one, if I recall, one pretty bad interception, but in the first half. But and Neal, I think they're this team isn't going to give up. I don't think. And let me tell you something about the Panthers. I think. They know that they're in really good position here, but they're still gonna look ahead to this Bucs game. But I think. But let me tell you something else. Bryce Young freaking sucks against New Orleans. He sucks in New Orleans. Let me tell you this. In two games in New Orleans, Young went 13 of 36. That's 36% completion rate, and they lost 47-10. In the other game in New Orleans, he went 13 of 30, 43.3% completion rate, and they lost 28-6. So he's 1-4 against the Saints. So for whatever that's worth. Hey, I said this before, and I know this is Young's 3rd year, I guess now, huh? Or is this third year?
Yeah.
So I mean, let's just say this is his first year actually playing respectful, having a respectful showing. I would say, like I just remember when the Giants, after they really looked good earlier on, or I shouldn't say good, but rejuvenated with Jackson Dart, and then they went to play New Orleans, and I said the same thing. Then I'm going to say it again. It's a tough place to play, and this team's not going to give up. The Saints aren't going to give up.
Yep.
Especially now knowing they can spoil a little something here for Shuck, who needs to prove himself, to Neal, who's got to prove himself. I mean, and they've been playing tough. Their defenses look better. Has looked better. So I think that 2.5 might look scary to a lot of people, but I like this. And you want to talk about Snowmo? The Panthers, a team that needs a win. They're the poster child for the team that needs a win that can't get it because they're just not really that good enough in the first place. Now I'm not saying they have no chance. Obviously, they could win this game easily. The Saints are not a good team. I'm not saying they are, but they're gonna bring their A effort. I think it seems like they have all year. Shuck is playing better. He's got a job to win and keep, I guess. So I like the Saints here. So what do you think?
I think that you said I was mean to Brady Cook. You were mean to Bryce Young.
Sorry, Bryce.
No. I'm like, I don't want to say I'm astounded that the Panthers are favored 2.5. I get it because they have a much better record than the Saints, but like records, sorry, Bill Parcells, are meaningless. Unless when not when it comes to determining who the teams are going to be in the playoffs, but I mean, like, as far as determining how good a team is, like the Panthers are, they're a joke. Like they've been outgained or outscored by like 50 something points this year. This is a team that really should be like 4-9. And if they were 4-9, they would not be 2.5-point favorites in New Orleans. They'd probably be like a 1-point underdog or something, which is maybe what they should be. And in fact, like it's funny, the metrics, and Andy hates EPA, but EPA has the Saints as the better team than the Panthers. The Saints have the number 10 defense over the past 2 months. Like they played really well. Their run defense is really good. The pass defense not so good. Run defense is awesome, and the Panthers have gotten most of their wins off the running backs. With Rico Doodle Dandy is and Chuba Hubbard is who's healthy now. The Saints can shut down the run pretty well and force Bryce Young to throw. And the last time Bryce Young played the Saints, you mentioned his road games in New Orleans. And talk about the home game he played against New Orleans a few weeks ago. He only scored 7 points. He was terrible in that game. And the Saints, I guess, defensively, they've had his number. You could definitely say that with the results that you pointed out.
Yeah.
I think that you're definitely onto something here, and yeah, look ahead for sure for the Panthers. They had to be like partying it up after Tampa lost. They're like, imagine they went out drinking or something. They were very excited. I think this is a very big flat spot for the Panthers, and yeah, you're right. Like the Saints are not going to quit at all. They have a, like you said, quarterback looking to improve himself. They have a rookie head coach who's I think Kellen Moore has done a solid job for what he's been given. And Chris Olave is playing well. Talise Fuaga, the right tackle, has been out for the past few weeks. He's back this week. So yeah, the Saints team is. It's not a surprise that they won in Tampa. I was not the least bit surprised. I know a lot of people were. A lot of people who were left alive in Circus Survivor took Tampa.
Oh yeah.
I had like 5 entries left in DraftKings. I did not take. I used a single one on the Bucks. I thought that was a horrible pick. And I also played the Saints along with you, and so yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah. I'm with you on the Saints team. I think this is a good line here, and I think they should be favorites. So I'm willing to take the +2.5.
Let's put them on there.
All right, good. We have our 4th definite.
All right.
Niners can't run the ball. Titans have allowed under 100 rushing yards in 3 of the last 4 games. Well, you know what the Titans can't do is stop receiving backs, and the Titans can't defend the middle of the field. So I think this is a McCaffrey receiving game, and Kittle a big game receiving too. When the Titans are against the Titans are the 11th worst team against tight ends. So that does not bode well against Kittle. So the Niners certainly have their advantages here. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Niners can't run the ball. McCaffrey can always break one. I think that they could definitely do it. So, okay. So it's my turn, right? Because you read about the Panthers.
Yeah.
Or sorry, you brought the Saints. Are there any games left I have with units on them? Let's look. There's one. Okay, so I didn't want to bring this up because it's your team, and I thought maybe you bring it up. But let's talk about Packers Broncos. Andy and I had I don't know if you listened to our whole show, but Andy and I had about a half-hour debate about this game. And it was mostly about the Broncos. We got in a heated exchange about how good we thought the Broncos were, and I don't know. Did you hear that debate at all?
I didn't get to hear it. No, because I was on at the beginning, but then I fell asleep, and then I woke up to you and Andy talking still at one point, but then I fell right back asleep. So I missed that part, unfortunately.
Secret Santa, Mike, thank you so much. Secret Santa. No, it's funny. So we got into a debate about how good the Broncos were. Mm-hmm. The kicker is we eventually discovered that we had the same opinion on the Broncos, that they were above average team.
Oh wow, I got to go back and listen then.
Yeah, it was funny. I'm like, what are we debating? I'm like, what are we debating here? We agree on the Broncos. We had 2 disagreements on this game that were actually like legit disagreements. One, how good the Packers are, and I'm given that you're a Packer fan, I'm eager to hear that. And then 2, the spot the Packers are in. So to the spot first. The Packers just beat the Bears, and they just beat 3 divisional opponents. Like, forget the Vikings; they're out of it. But they won against Detroit on Thanksgiving, and then they beat the Bears. Although they had a mini bye in between the Detroit game and the Chicago game, so that maybe that helps. But as Annie pointed out, like, there's a kind of like, maybe they're lacking energy at this point because they expended so much of it beating divisional opponents. And after this game, they play Chicago again, which is going to be for the division. So there's an argument to be made, I think, that the Packers could be in a letdown. I don't like that argument for this reason, and it's because, well, for a couple of reasons. One, Denver is 11-2. Denver has a better record than them. So, and this is also the marquee CBS game. All these 4:00 games are at 4:25, so it's like double national TV. So this is I believe this is the CBS game. So this is gonna be Nance and Romo broadcasting this. So big game, and also the Packers. There's a chance the Rams lose to the Lions. If they do, the Packers win, and they're the number 1 seed. So I think the Packers will be focused for this game, but like I said, there's an argument to be made that they will not be. So I'm curious to hear your opinion on that as well. But as far as the Packers, as how good they are, we talked about how disappointing they were for a majority of the season. Like, they lost to the Panthers, they lost to the Browns. They did not cover against Joe Flacco's Bengals. They did not cover against the Giants. So many disappointing performances. But in the last 3 weeks, and these are divisional games, they destroyed Minnesota, who in Minnesota has played a little bit better recently. Well, maybe just one game, but still, Minnesota seems to be getting on the right track now. They were up by 10 3 times against Detroit, and on the road. And then they beat Chicago, where they were up 14-3, and they kept their, like, the distance away from Chicago. And Chicago kept coming back, but Green Bay was they were ahead for most of the game. So I think they played better. And I think it has to do with, like, Christian Watson being really healthy and coming on, and now Jalen Reed's healthy, and Matthew Golden's back too, and the defense seems to be living up to its potential. I think now this could be a small sample size, misleading. Maybe they just crap the bed in this game, but I do think that there's a chance that they are finally living up to their potential. And if that's true, then I really like them against Denver, because Denver is such a fraudulent team. They've had so many close calls against bad teams. It's not like they've had close calls against good teams. If they did, I'd be like, they're a great team. But, like, we're talking about a team that is barely beating the likes of the Jets and the Giants and the Titans and the Redskins, and they scores 10 and 17 offensive points against the Raiders in 2 meetings. Like, they've been so underwhelming against so many mediocre or bad teams. It's just so hard to take them seriously as an 11-2 team. And their big win that everyone that's hanging their hat on is against the Chiefs. But the Chiefs haven't won. They've won 1 game since that game, and it was against the Colts, and that was when Daniel Jones broke his leg, or fractured his leg. So I'm not a believer in the Broncos. I think I'm starting to believe in the Packers, but I'm still a little skeptical, but we'll see. I think I'm leaning toward believing in them, and I think this is not a bad spot for the Packers. So I'm really eager to hear your opinion on this game.
Yeah, well, you might be surprised to learn that I actually am in agreement. I think there's
Okay.
a good chance that the Packers are maybe heating up at the right time, especially with the return of Jaden Reed. I think that really helped them. Hey, I called it last week too. I said Watson's going to have a good game.
You did.
Yeah,
You
he had a very nice game, 2 touchdowns. But yeah, with the Broncos, I mean, you summarized it pretty well. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 unimpressive wins by my count.
Mhm.
And especially, we're talking, okay, yeah, well, their defense is elite, and maybe someone wants to argue they just gave up 27 points to the Commanders Club, who just with Marcus Mariota, who just got shut out with Jaden Daniels. I know Daniels wasn't there the whole time, but
Mhm.
it's just okay, yeah, but their defense is very good, but it's not it's not immortal by any means. So I don't know. I'm inclined to take Green Bay here. I really am. I don't know how much they're really going to be looking ahead. I'm of the opinion that Green Bay won 28-21, and I know the Bears were right there, fourth and 1, right in the red zone there, and there was a game-ending interception, essentially. So I know the Bears were close, but I'm still of the belief that that game was not as close as the score. I don't know. I thought the Packers. I was never really worried that the Packers were going to lose that game as a fan. It was a really good game.
Yeah.
But I thought Green Bay looked pretty good. That interception on the first drive by Jordan Love was bad. That's the thing. I think he's good. I really like him, but like, geez, when he's bad, like some of his interceptions are like, ugh.
He's so inconsistent.
Yeah.
If you get the hot Jordan Love in the playoffs, like you're going to win the Super Bowl. But if you get the guy who throws off his back foot, you're going to lose right away.
It's wild. So I don't know. I can't. Nothing inspires a lot of confidence. I mean, yeah, their defense is decent, but like their offense, it's like, I mean, really, to me, the only impressive win they've had is like where they looked dominant was against Dallas. To me, really, you know, like I just. At what point are we going to see like Bo Nix light it up all of a sudden? Like, I don't know. And especially Green Bay's defense has been playing better, I feel like. So I don't know.
Maybe it's his Bo Nix coming out party. The point is Green Bay should not be favored in Denver. Denver plus 73 points, Packers plus 75. I made this line Packers minus 5.5. Maybe that's a little crazy, but I have the Packers in Group A, Broncos in Group C. And I have a 7-point differential between these two teams. Wow.
Broncos in Group C, huh?
What's the argument for them to be in Group B? I don't think they're a good team.
Put them in the B- group. Come on.
I don't do minus and plus.
No, you should. Okay, just make one exception this time.
I think they would be C+ if we're doing minus.
Wow, tough crowd tonight, huh?
Brady Cook slander and
the Bryce Young slander. We're really hitting them where it hurts tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I have a hard time seeing, you know, and they're saying, oh, okay, like Denver's defense is really good, and it is, but it's not like it's the 2015, you know, Broncos defense. You know, that remember that Sunday night game that year, they just completely shut down the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. I think Rodgers had like 80 yards passing.
Oh yeah, that was
like this defense isn't that good. Like that it's not going to be this kind of game. That's not going to be that kind of game. I don't think that's going to happen to the Packers. I think they're going to win this game, and I think it's going to probably end up being like 24-17 Green Bay.
Yeah, the metrics don't like the Broncos defense. They're not saying it's bad, but I guess the performance against Washington has something to do with it. But the EPA has Denver as the 12th defense in the NFL.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, over the past 2 months, I say, not the whole year. Over the past 2 months.
Yeah. But I do feel like Green Bay often struggles against Denver. You know, they don't play each other often.
Yeah,
but
that's rare. They play against each other.
Yeah, remember? They lost to them a couple years ago when Russell Wilson was on there. I think it was by 1 point. And it was October 23. Yeah.
Yeah. Status Josh Jacobs. He is questionable. He was DNP limited. That's kind of like what he was against the Giants, I want to say, and then he ended up playing. So I would trust him to play. I don't really care too much about Jacobs versus Wilson. Running back really just doesn't move the needle for me unless it's like McCaffrey, unless it's like a guy who catches a lot of passes out of the backfield, because at that point they're a receiver too. But if it's Jacobs versus Emmanuel Wilson, I don't really bump the line at all. And then I think the Broncos have potentially the worst injuries. Pat Bryant, their number 2 receiver, has emerged. He's out, and Mike McGlinchey, the right tackle, he was DNP on Friday, I believe. So he could be missing this game, and that would be a big deal against the Packers pass rush. So they play to the level of the competition, but they haven't played a good game, right? Like you said, they've had 8 unimpressive wins, so they've had 3 impressive wins. What were the impressive wins? Do you know?
Well, let's see. Well, I said Dallas.
Dallas and Kansas City, right?
Well, no, I even said I think I even put that under the unimpressive.
Now, I mean, yeah, it's a 6-7 team that they really beat, right? So
let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who else did they? Oh, the Eagles, I guess, but
Yeah, I would say that was an impressive win, even though they're losing for most of the game.
Yeah, well, it wasn't unimpressive. It wasn't unimpressive. We'll put it that way.
Look, they went on the road and beat the defending Super Bowl champions, coming back from a couple. I mean, they had a great fourth quarter.
Yeah.
That's definitely an impressive win. Although the Eagles haven't been as good as people thought, but still, I think in that sort of situation, coming back is a nice moment.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to think of what the other game is.
Well, I mean, let's run through
them.
The
Bengals. I mean, they won handily, 28.
Bengals. Yeah, that was the Jake Browning. That was even Jeff Flair.
That was
Jake
Browning.
Yeah. So, I had that on the card. I think we did too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we did. We definitely did.
Yeah. All right, what do we have here? A couple comments. Panthers are energized after Tampa lost last night. I mean, I don't know. Like maybe they got too energized and went out, and now they have no energy. Like I don't know. I think that's definitely possible. Wait, hold on. What'd you say?
No, I was just gonna say. Well, I don't know, Andy. I mean, I think maybe if it was a team, maybe if that was the Bengals finding themselves in the positions as the Panthers were, a team that has talent to that level and more experience, I'd say it's more likely that what you say is true. It still could be true with Carolina, but I think given the fact that they're so green and I don't know. I think it's more likely they're like the college team that's never been ranked in the top 10 and they play their first game and then lose that first game because they've never had the press. Like maybe something. That's kind of like where my head is on that one, if that makes sense. But you could be right too, though. So,
yeah, Denver's playing for the 1 seed. Packers play next week to clinch the North. The Packers are playing for the 1 seed too. So, like I said, if the Rams lose to the Lions, could happen. Then Packers win this game and have the 1 seed. So I think that's a big deal. It's big deal to have the bye. And then Denver will know the result of the past game by the middle of the first quarter. Yeah, or even before kickoff. Because this is 425, so that game could potentially be a blowout. So, but if the Patriots lose, then Denver basically gets a free square, right? Because they're going to be ahead of New England no matter what. So they could afford a loss at that point. Not that I think that factors in. I'm just saying.
Right.
All right. So how much do you like the Packers here?
Yeah, we can put it on the maybe.
Okay.
I think there's something else I like better, so I want to see what you think.
Okay. Well, let's do you want to bring that up now? What do you like better?
Oh, well, I want to skip over your turn. Is it my turn?
That was my turn. So
okay. See. I see I need a chaperone. Okay. The Bills and Patriots. Don't even front. Is this a joke? Come on. Is this a joke?
Dave Portnoy said this is the most disrespectful line of all time.
Yeah, well, Dave Portnoy sucks old car tires, But you know what the Bills are? They're the 2006 Colts. And remember, because the Colts had so many great seasons and never got to the Super Bowl in the 2006. They still won the division, but they had to come on kind of late in the season, if I remember correctly. And they weren't looking as stellar as they had in years previous, where they were predicted to win the Super Bowl, and that was the year they did it. That's what I think is happening this year with the Bills. And mark my words, they better win the Super Bowl this year, or this is their best chance. I mean, there is no real juggernaut in the AFC. It should be them.
It's wide open, the AFC.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, Josh Allen. I just don't think they're deep enough at receiver.
No, they're not. Yeah,
that's their problem. But maybe they don't need to be. Because with Allen being as mobile as he is, this is a joke. I think the Bills are going to win in a blowout. I mean, I don't know. They even though they gave up a lot of points, their defense played a little bit better in the second half of that Bengals game. I also think that there's I'm not putting too much stock in this, but. I don't know. After losing the Patriots the first time, they were probably looking ahead to this game a little bit. I always feel like if there's a team when there's like a look ahead and then they don't cover that game where we think they might be looking ahead, they end up covering the game that they're looking ahead to. So I don't know. That's just from the eye test. But I think the Bills are going to win pretty easily. They're finally coming along here after a little bit of a shaky patch, but they're going to want to avenge the losing to the Patriots the first game. And the Patriots schedule, yeah, I think they're a really good team, and I like their team, but they have the easiest schedule in the NFL, I think, or at least close to it. So I don't know. I don't think this is disrespectful. I'm very surprised that the Bills aren't like -3, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's too lofty, but
yeah, I agree with you on this. I like the Bills. I'm not like super confident in this game just because the Patriots have had so many easy teams that they played against, so it's hard to take the schedule seriously. I know they beat the Bills, but that's back when the Bills weren't playing well against Atlanta. They lost against Atlanta the following week, so it's not like they were playing well at all. I don't know if you saw the meme. I'm trying to bring up like an image that's not super small. But it's the Homer Simpson meme where he's like super fit in the front, but in the back.
Oh
like, he's like super fat and hold on. I'm trying to hold on. Let me try to bring that up. Why is this like it's so small?
The Murder Horn episode. That's the name of the mountain he was going to climb in that episode. The Murder Horn.
Yeah, let me. Here we go. Hold on. Bring it up right now. There you go. You can see it here. You're 11-2, and then all the fat in the back.
Yeah.
We have Dolphins, Jets, Saints, Browns, Falcons, Giants, Titans, Panthers, Bengals.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. So we talked about like House of Cards. That's what the Patriots record is built on. However, I think that they are a more they're more legit, I think, than the Broncos because they've actually beaten their competition by margin. Most of their competition, I should say. Like they've had a lot of impressive wins. Like the fact that the way they took care of the Giants. The way they took care of the Giants right before their bye, I thought was pretty impressive. Even though the Giants are not a good team, like they easily, without their left tackle, they easily could have just like barely won that game, but they won in a blowout. So I think they are a legit team, but they haven't really faced competition yet without their left tackle. And the Bills are great at rushing the passer. And from the looks of it, the run defense has improved. I think it's a small sample size, but past couple games, the run defense has actually played pretty well, and that's been their biggest liability. So if they fixed it enough to like be mediocre, I think that could really put them over the top in the conference. I'm with you here. I do think that the Bills should be favored despite what Dave Portnoy has to say. I do like them here. Again, not one of my top plays, but I like it enough to if you really love the Bills, we can put it on the card. I think Evan and I have it on the card as well. Pick them.
Yeah, we can put them on. I like them.
Okay. We have 5 definites. So we have some comments here. Let's see. Packers lost to both Carolina and Cleveland.
They did.
Yeah, they were playing bad in the past, and they're playing better now. So we'll see if that is true, if that continues. Or Texans knock out the Bills out of the playoffs. Yeah, the Texans do have their number. If that's like except for the Chiefs, I feel like that's the one team the Bills don't want to face.
That's true.
Although if they do play in Buffalo, then I think it's a different story. Houston, the team that's not going to do well in like 10-degree weather. Denver, New England will both win this week. You are both wrong.
Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Green Bay's been tough to read, but I feel like they're starting to hit their stride here.
Okay. Records don't mean anything, Walt. Stop it. No idea what any team thinks. It's certainly true. I think motivation is the toughest thing to handicap because we're not in the locker room. The only time we sort of were in the locker room was when Charlie Campbell had inside info on Josh Freeman, I think it was in 2011, and the Bucks went 4-12 that year. We bet against the Bucks every single week because like, we knew inside info and Freeman, and like it was actually quite sad. I don't want to like laugh and smile. Like his life was like in shambles. It was awful what he was going through. So but we I mean, like, look, we're that's not supposed to bet against that. So so we took advantage of that, and that's like the one time we knew that was going on. Let's see. Hold on. Rams or Seattle gets the number 1 seed in the NFC. Maybe, yeah, but the Packers, if they win and the Rams lose, then they're the 1 seed. What has Buffalo ever won? They are a choking city, period. Well, they keep beating the Chiefs in the regular season. Look, this is the regular season. This is not really a choke job. Like, they lose the Patriots. I don't think it's a choke job. They lose the Patriots in the playoffs, and that's a choke job. But this game is not really choking, you know. Texans did play in the freezing cold in Arrowhead last weekend, though. They just don't have snow experience. Was it freezing cold? How cold was it, actually? I do have the weather written down from last week. We'll see what the weather was. Let's see. It was 21 degrees. Yeah, it was pretty cold. Yeah. Okay. So they won that game. So yeah, good call, Brandon. There is no Rams or Seattle in the AFC this year. Yeah, that's certainly true. I do think the Bills have a lot of upside. I think the Bills have the upside of Rams. Now, we haven't seen it entirely because the run defense has been bad, but like I said, the run defense has improved recently, and I don't know if that's a fluke or a small sample size, but if that's true, then I think the Bills belong in that echelon. And frankly, I'm not convinced Darnold can make a run in the playoffs because he's so bad on the pressure. I'm talking about championship. Yeah, I mean, look, yeah, that's true. Once we get to the playoffs, we can discuss it. But I think here, like this week, as far as handicapping this game, it's not, we're not talking about like choking and stuff. Okay, so we have 5 definites. We can run through some games quickly to see if we have a strong opinion on them, and maybe we want to like talk about knocking someone off. I mean, Cardinals, Texans. I know you commented on our video with Andy that you like the Cardinals. Has anything changed? Like, do you like?
Yeah, no, I still kind of like them. I actually kind of forgot about this one. The Cards defense, if you just look at the score of that Rams game, you're going to say, oh, wow, okay, the Rams blew them out. But that game was close for most of the first half. Most of the first half. Puka Nacua made some incredible catches. That, I mean, I don't think any defense would have been able to stop. So look, I still think the Rams would have. I'm not saying the Rams got lucky or anything like that. They were definitely the better team. But I don't think that loss to the Rams was as bad as the score indicated. So I will say that their defense wasn't terrible. It was 10-10 for a little bit, and then I think the Rams got 2 quick touchdowns at the end of the first half, if I'm not mistaken, or at least one to put them ahead. This Houston offense is just anemic, man. Anemic. Like so it's so hard for them to get points, and they're minus 10 here, or like 9.5. I have them locked in on my card at plus 10, but the Cardinals, that is. But this seems like a lot for the Texans. I mean, the Cardinals, like Brissett's been good, and he's thrown the ball, and I don't know, like they're definitely trying. This seems like a lot of points for an offense that's so anemic as Houston's. Yeah, I know. I mean, I guess the idea is that they think they're going to hold the Cardinals to, like 3 points or 7 points maybe, and that's, I don't know. I don't see the Cardinals scoring more than 20 here. Or I'm sorry, the Texans rather. Like, I don't see the Texans scoring more than 20 here necessarily. Their offense is so bad.
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah. I think you're right about that. But have you seen the status of Arizona's offensive line?
No. But I think I heard you guys talking about it, but did anything change?
Well, okay. So their left tackle is out. It's really good, Paris Johnson. So they're without their left
Paris Johnson, yeah.
Yeah. So they're without their starting left tackle. They're without the starting right tackle. They're without their starting left guard. They're without their starting right guard. So actually, the right guard replacement has been pretty solid. So a little misleading, but they're still without 3 good starters on the offensive line. 2 tackles in their left guard. They have a good backup swing tackle, Kellen Beachum. He's been starting for Jonah Williams. It's been like not a downgrade, but like now they're down to their 4th tackle starting at left tackle and their 3rd guard starting at guard against Houston's defensive line. Good luck, Arizona. Talk about how like Arizona was kind of keeping close and they stopped scoring. Paris Johnson got knocked out. And then they had no left tackle. Brissett got under pressure a lot, and that was it. There was no protection for Brissett anymore. So there's going to be no protection for Brissett in this game. So, yeah, maybe Texans score 20 points. It could be 20-6.
Yeah,
so, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with this game. I currently have Arizona for no units, so I don't like it. Houston's corners will shut down Brissett's biggest target, Wilson. Yeah, Harrison's out again. Not that. I mean, that's actually look good because Michael Wilson's been better than Harrison. So, yeah. So, if don't downplay special team scores, I mean, they're so
what did I
fluky,
downplay? What did I downplay?
I think I was talking about Shamar DK, like the
okay.
But they're so fluky. Like, yeah, we play Jets Browns. Jets scored 2 special teams touchdowns. So the Browns allow 2 scores special teams. The next week, the Browns score twice on special teams against the Ravens. Like, how do you handicap this? It's all fluky. It's all nonsense. I don't know. It's like a coin flip. You're like flipping coins at this point. I hate special teams. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, you can't handicap it. Anyway,
they should just get rid of the punts, man. They should just like no matter where it's part of the game now. No matter where you are, 4th down, you're going for it. If not, tough luck. You're starting right there, so everyone's kind of at the same advantage. So no more fluky special teams.
You know what? If I were a head coach in the NFL or special teams coach, I would tell my punter, punt the ball out of bounds every single time. I don't want a single return against me. Not one the entire game. Like, what's the point? Like, okay, you punt the ball out of bounds. Sometimes you punt the ball out of bounds poorly. Like, okay, so instead of punting the ball at the 20, the team gets it at the 30. All right, fine. But I'm okay with that, with the occasional bad punt, if I never get a single punt return touchdown against me in my entire career. I'll take it every single time. Why don't teams do that? Like there's zero excuse to do that because only bad things can happen. Okay, maybe muff punt, you recover, fine. But like the downside of having a punt return against you is it's so bad. Just punt the ball out of bounds. Just nullify the entire possibility.
Yeah. Remember Miracle in the Meadowlands 2 in 2010 when Deshaun Jackson ran it back? I love when Tom Coughlin came out on the field
angry.
And you can read his lips perfectly, yelling at Matt Dodge, the punter. He's going, "What did I tell you to do? What did I tell you to do?"
I remember. Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah,
as I've told you many times, if that play doesn't happen, Green Bay doesn't win the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah, no punts must go for it in 4th down. Yeah, the big football will be
call the Andy Reid rule. Yeah.
Football would be slow slanted toward the offense in that situation. Anyway, we have Raiders, Eagles. Any interest here?
Give me the Raiders, baby. I'll tell you what, I like him actually a decent bit. As I said this before, I'll say it again. My uncle had texted me a couple weeks ago, and I'll never forget for the rest of the season. He's like, "Hurts looks depressed." That's the best way I can describe this Eagles team right now. They look depressed. They're not all there, and that's all that needs to be said. Yeah. Also, don't forget Kenny Pickett's going to be starting. He's going to have some knowledge. He's going to know that Super Bowl champion Kenny Pickett to you, by the way. And he's going to have some knowledge of the Eagles. Look, he definitely doesn't have 0, right? And he's going to be trying. You know what I mean? Because he's trying to win a job too, especially as bad as Geno has played. Because he's going to start, right?
Yeah, Pickett's starting. Yeah.
I mean, he's going to give his best effort, and we've seen the Raiders cover some games. I took him against the Jaguars when they were +2.5. You know, the thing is, this team can really lay an egg too. You know, there was another game that I took them that they covered. I can't remember, but I don't know. Pickett's gonna at worst it's neutral. There's got to be some sort of advantage, you know, for Pickett. Granted, yeah, he's not the most talented quarterback, but hey, it can only help us at worst. It's neutral, and you know he's going to be trying. So I don't know. He's probably very comfortable playing in Philadelphia already, at least on some level.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. This is the best. Oh man, it's interconference on the road though, across 3 time zones is the other thing. So that's not good.
But the Eagles are also crossing 3 time zones because they play it at the
Oh,
Chargers.
fair enough. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the other leg of the team that played in overtime with 150 snaps in the tough defensive battle. But Tom, how dare you? As I wave my daughter's magic marker at you, how dare you degrade Geno Smith like that?
Yeah.
Mina Kimes is a top level analyst for ESPN. She said that Geno Smith's a top 10 quarterback. How dare you say Geno Smith is on par with Kenny Pickett?
I missed
that means Kenny Pickett's also a top 10 quarterback.
He's up there, baby. It's defending Super Bowl champion. He's out there to prove why they should have kept him, especially with as bad as Hurts is playing. Yeah, he's going to prove that to him on Sunday, baby.
Actually, we know that maybe this will change your opinion on the game. We know that when Philly fans get super happy that their team sucks, and when they get super depressed, their team does well.
That's true. That's true.
I was in the locker room today, just swam. I was changing, and I heard. I just started laughing. I heard this one guy. I was like, "Hey, you going? You watching the Eagles on Sunday?" And the guy's like, "Nah, they're gonna get trounced by the Raiders."
Oh wow, that's that bad.
It's that bad. Everyone's down on them. They think they're gonna lose to the Raiders.
As a 12-point favorite. Holy cow!
Speaking of spread, Kenny, who does the Tuesday show with me, he's not like super into betting. He's more into fantasy, so he doesn't know what the spread is. He's like, "What's the spread?" I'm like, "Do you want to guess?" He's like, "Yeah, 6."
Oh wow,
that's how down the Eagles fans are right now.
Holy cow!
So that tells me like the Eagles are they maybe they'll trounce the Raiders. I don't know. I'm not betting this game.
Okay, maybe I'll stay away then too.
Yeah, they should know not to draft Pickett. Yeah, exactly. Lane Johnson, Jalen Carter out once again. Yeah, for sure. Colton Miller actually had a chance to maybe play in this game because he's off IR, or he has a chance to be off IR, but he's gonna be out again. So that would have been if Colton Miller were playing, like that would really sway me for the Raiders, because the Raiders have had a horrible offensive line, but he's actually like the really good one good lineman that they have, but he's gonna be out again. We're gonna get some picks from Pickett. That's probably true. This I could see this game. Like, the Eagles have a terrible offense. They haven't scored more than 21 since October 26th. But I could see this game being like 19-6 or 16-3. Or something like that, where the Raiders just don't score at all against this Eagles defense, and the Eagles just like get by and they win, but they don't they cover somehow and they don't look impressive at all. I feel like that could happen.
That's true. That's true.
Other games we haven't discussed. We talked about that. Talked about that. Redskins, Giants. Anything?
Give me the Commanders Club, but I have no other opinion otherwise. I don't think
I have no opinion on this game either.
Yeah, I don't think the Giants should be favored over anybody, but yeah, I'd say Washington, but otherwise I'm not touching it.
Yeah, I'm not touching this one either. Discuss this one, that one. Vikings Cowboys is the last game we discussed. Cowboys -5.5. In real life, what are they in the contest? They are still 5.5. Okay. Any thoughts on this last game?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the Vikings a little bit. McCarthy needs to play well. I mean, he needs to have, they had a good game last week, great game by his standards. So I think the Dallas defense, a game against the Dallas defense, seems like a good opportunity to do that. We've seen him play well against bad defenses. I mean, Detroit and now Washington. So I think this was a good confidence boost for McCarthy last game, and now this could be his coming out party.
Yeah, out party. Yeah,
exactly.
We get Dante Culpepper coming out party. We get McCarthy,
and exactly. and look, even in like, let's look at that. The Vikings defense has been playing better. I mean, look how good the Seahawks offense has been. And they had held Darnold to 128 yards passing, and Walker had 56 yards rushing. Now, granted, they had a horrible performance on offense, and they lost 26-0, but their defense is playing a lot better, and they looked pretty good last week too at times.
Mhm.
So yeah, I like the Vikings here. I mean, yeah, they're not mathematically, but they're pretty much out of the picture. So, but McCarthy's got to play hard and he's got to play well. He knows that. So,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying it's a bad defense. He'll definitely do well. I don't know that, but he's had some decent performances against bad defenses. So, it seems like too many points. I thought this would be more like 3 maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like the Vikings.
Feels like way too many points, I think. I like the Vikings too. I'll say this, like Dak Prescott is a great matchup in this game because he's the number 2 quarterback in the NFL against the blitz. And Minnesota blitzes more than any team in the NFL. So if you want to argue Dallas, you can do that. Also, CeeDee Lamb's going to be back from his concussion. He does not have an injury designation, so he's going to play. So yeah, I mean, you could argue Cowboys, I think. But I do think that this line's a little too high. McCarthy should play better if maybe he gets a backdoor cover. Like it could certainly happen. So yeah, I like Minnesota. I don't think I'm going to bet the game though.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like it. I don't love it, but
yeah. All right. So let's see our definites, and if we want to stick with our card here. Here we go. Holmes Hall Heroes. Seahawks minus 13.5 against the Colts. Jaguars minus 13.5 against the Jets. 49ers minus 12.5 against the Titans. We have, luckily, not all favorites. We have Saints plus 2.5 and Bills pick 'em. Do you want to remove anything or keep this?
Let's keep them on. Well, we got all 3 big spreads there. But hey, historically, a lot of times they cover. So
yeah, they do cover more often than not, at least in the past 15 years. So
yeah.
All right. That's it. She must have been only rating 10 quarterbacks. Yeah, I mean, that was the trick. That was the asterisk. She's like, I was only rating 10. He's number 10. If Benford plays, I feel like the Bills. But yeah, Benford is questionable. Both teams have a big injury question mark in this game. The Bills with Christian Benford, the Patriots with Robert Spillane, who's been really good for them at linebacker. So we'll see what happens with those injuries, but I'm confident in the Bills too. So yeah, those are our picks here. Tom, any final words before we head out? Maybe you want to plug your X account here.
Yeah, I haven't posted. Oh yeah, I'm still rooting for the Bills to win the Super Bowl. There, you see, I got them at 40-1 there with that parlay.
Yeah,
And how about those Orlando Magic there in the NBA Cup semifinals?
I hate the NBA Cup.
I know it's so dumb, but hey, I'm just excited the Magic are finally putting it together. So, but hey, I appreciate everyone joining. Have a great time with you guys as always. And Walt, always a great time, man. So
yeah,
hopefully we can keep this momentum going.
Yeah, always a blast to do the show with you and everyone else to do the show with. Evan, Andy, and Kenny. Love our lineup that we have each week. Speaking of Kenny, we'll be back with him on Tuesday. We just actually did a best ball draft together. Obviously not on the channel, but while I was getting ready for the game, i.e. in the bathroom, I was like, Kenny texted me. He's like, do you want to do a draft? I'm like, all right, I'm not going anywhere in the next 10-15 minutes anyway. So we did a best ball draft, and I'm sure we'll talk about it. And the Josh Allen versus Puka Nacua debate, which I think is interesting right now. So yeah, like I said, we'll be back on Tuesday. I hope you guys have a great weekend and good luck with all your picks. Hope everyone gets all their bets correct. But yeah, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit walterfootball.com for tons of content in the NFL, all free, as you guys know. And yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday, and have a great night, everyone, and I'll talk to you later.
See you later.